Right at the South and Bend. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat kepa, gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. You wanna get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon. Spoon TV. Spoon.
Ba-da-ba-di-ba-di-ba.
Spoon.
Skibidi-bidi-da-ba-do.
Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment. On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon radio station. Spoon television.
Yes, I. A special one from the CEOs downtown with the spoon. And your boy, right at the South and Bend. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you bati leo. Yes, what you bati leo. Besteku. Bala bala bala. Skibidi bidi dabado.
Okay, so tune into Spoon FM, Spoon Radio, Spoon TV. Of course, this is where we are. We want to say welcome again to another edition of the program, the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. We are here again tonight. We're live on Spoon 107.5 FM. We're live on Fabric 101.1 FM. We're live on Super 95.5 FM as well. Thanks to a host of radio stations across the country that are relaying this program as well. Thanks to you who always make up time to be here with us. Thanks to GB FM, Trust FM, and all of those other radio stations. We are live on Facebook. We're live on Fabric TV, Super TV, and Spoon TV. And on YouTube, we are live on Spoon Talk Live. That's our YouTube handle. I want to say thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Nelson Colen, and the late night show, this is where we gather to talk about the trending national issues. Here we agree, we disagree, but at the end of the day, we try to coexist because Liberia happens to be that bigger picture that represents all of us, or that big umbrella under which we all find ourselves. So I want to say welcome again. Welcome to the show. Our co-moderator Morba Zokia is not well. I'm wishing him speedy recovery, and hoping that Morba can join us sometime this week so we get the show going on. Yes, so we wish him a speedy uh, recovery. All right, and so again, I want to say welcome. Thanks for joining us. Let me go across and bring the folks on. And folks, let me say this. Let me say this to all of you following. We ask you to kindly share the program as you come on. Please share the show so we can have a great conversation here tonight. I'll go across now and bring in the team. Everyone is here seated. I see Francis Jabate is here. Francis, welcome to the show.
Thank you, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, it's good to see you. The Liberian flair is not twisted today. No, what was it? Was it Cindy who twisted the Liberian flag?
Right, Cindy got the flag twisted.
Yeah. Why is Cindy carrying our country down?
I mean, after inauguration, we'll go back up. Right now, it's
you have the Liberian flag in your background, and you.
The best way I can position it.
Okay, you don't want it to cover the window and stuff.
No.
I understand. Nothing about Liberia being down or up. That you just want to use that political, jargon or something to kind of kaiju. Oh yeah, that
so
space.
You will see, automatically it will flip itself after inauguration.
That space small for the size of the flag. I think that's the issue, right?
Now you know that one.
That's an honest analysis of that whole thing. But let me say, Officer Haynes, thanks for joining us tonight. Sandy said he saw you somewhere and you gave him ticket.
AC. I beg you, man. I just all over America. Hey, at the one spot. What's up?
That spot Sandy tried passing one time, one guy over speed. They say,
Yep. The man look at me and give me $200 ticket back.
What?
Then Sandy won't tell the man say, but you know me, and I am male on a late night show. Man say,
I
no,
say no.
this is my job, my duty.
And
You know what?
frequency outside and show you.
You know what? We don't do it. Yo.
Francis, what's
Now
good?
who
What's
I
going
know?
on?
Not even much, man. I know I've been missing actually for a couple of days.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking, man.
But I've been watching in the background. On Saturday, I was at a Thanksgiving party in Delaware.
Yeah.
Then,
Thanksgiving had a lot of people down. In fact, right after the Thanksgiving, Mobile said he felt sick.
Because he
What-
over plus.
I mean,
He
to
brain
what
it.
kind of, let me put it that way, what kind of activity that made that man to fall sick, we not know up to now. But we have to investigate.
Food.
too much eating.
Look at Mickey Kono.
Mickey not sitting in that corner. When that means anytime you see Mickey in that corner, you ready to cause problem.
You see Tuena professor office.
Yeah. When you see that Harlem today.
I wearing my team jersey today with Fisi.
I didn't
Thank you for saying it.
I didn't want to
That
say
20 year plus run your day, it finished over. Matter of fact, y'all better start firing Bill Belichick now, my man. I'm a bit done.
Without Brady, he nothing, man.
Oh, Shirley Snake, y'all gotta come on. All the females. What the females? Shirley, Maggie,
the female ladies.
Yeah, the females. You guys have to come on. And yes, let me reprint on Mr. Way. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And I see Alfred Conwell. You know, I got a feedback today. Someone called me. I was doing my different thing. The person called.
What kind of different thing? You're checking money?
No, not really. Okay, I had come from out, and then as soon as I got home, and the person called me. The person said, I call to make my point. This African guy on the show, you know the way he's talking, and the man, before I could even say, oh, the show is not live, the man had already made his point. So he learned that he got through. I said, sir, the show is not live. But no, but I want to make my point to the African man. I said, what African said I made a man get in reality today.
I said something to the man. I
want to make my point to the African man. But it's good to be here again. I want to say thanks to everyone for coming in. I think we can start now. We have the legislators can say quorum, right?
Yeah.
We have a good number to start with.
Yeah.
So I want us to start. But listen, it's like all males are fair tonight. So many of them.
All men.
Tonight. So I think we'll get them on. Yeah, we'll start with what's on our mind, since we're not many here, as usual. We'll do the regular what's on our mind. Maybe we'll take 2 minutes on that, and then we'll move on to other issues we want to talk about tonight. So let's start with Francis. Francis, you can start out by telling us what's on your mind, and then we will make the rounds.
Yeah, good evening, good morning. Yeah, man, you know, as usual, I always watch the Spoon Talk show, man, and they spoke about something that is really dear to my heart, especially when it comes to creating revenue. They talk. This guy was on today. I don't know, Jabba or whatever, from Deputy Commissioner for LRA.
Yeah.
They talk about taxes, right? How people inflating their property value or deflating their property value and stuff. But one thing that clicked to me, I've always been talking about it. You know, when I sit with my friends and stuff like that, we talk about this issue about taxes, right? And what's the guy named Dualu asked a question, and he just gave a roundabout number, talk about 200,000 houses in Monterey County, and if but how I did my math was, if each house paid $10 a month, $10 a month in property tax, right? And this is not even considering, because in the US and other places, you look at the size of the house, the location of the house, and things like that. That's how much our taxes will be. But if you just say everybody remain constant and pay $10 a month, for 200,000 houses in Montserrat, a year, Montserrat alone will bring in about $24 million.
Wow.
Montserrat alone will bring in $24 million if you just tax each house $10 a month. But then remember, there are businesses also over there that the taxes will be a lot different and higher. And if you look at some of these people that are building mansions, some of these commercial properties like apartment complex, gas station, all the properties, when you put the taxes together, if LRA is really doing what it's supposed to do, Montserrat County alone can bring in over $50-60 million a year. And I'm just being conservative. So why? That brings me to something that I always like to talk about having separate counties like the superintendent and the mayors and the taxes from each city and things like that to take care of its people, like to fund the police, fund the schools and things like that. It's doable. It's doable. So they just need to, first of all, open up the country where people can spread out and job opportunities are all over the country so that way people can be able to pay their taxes. And each county should be able to collect taxes to fund development in that county. And the federal or the government itself should just subsidize some of these projects these counties wants to undertake. So, and these things are doable. So when it's talking about our Spoon Talk today, really, it spoke to me, and I'm really passionate about something like that. But the corruption needs to end, because LRA, as we heard today, massive corruption. People pay taxes, but tax doesn't go in the covers. People putting fake receipts and stuff in there, and it's not making any sense. But to help our people, they just need to figure out the tax situation and also digitize it as out of the people coming and paying physical cash.
Okay.
Digitize that, what people can use online payment, and it should help the country a whole lot.
Yeah, and I think you have a great point there. Talking about that, the LRA has something they call the e-filing, stuff where you can sit at your home, business center, or wherever, and just do your payment online without going at the LRA and stuff like that. They have a system in place like that. But I think you struck a very important point with respect to the level of impact, that the taxes, especially just from the real estate or
just
aspect,
homes.
just from the residential aspect, what the potential that it has, when it comes to revenue generation. But again, there are lots of loopholes, and that's one aspect that can be left out whenever you're having those kinds of discussions. You listen to the LRA a deputy, how do you call it, assistant commissioner or deputy? Yeah. So there are lots of loopholes, and I think it's a whole systematic issue that has to be looked at from all sides. Yes, we have what it takes, but when it comes to compliance is a whole thing all by itself, especially now. Certain here, you tell people to pay taxes, and they say, "How am I?"
Also, Nelson, on the other hand, it's kind of suck. People don't have jobs and asking to pay taxes. So
okay, that's the other thing.
Too, so it kind of sucks. But Braga has a heavy load to carry because we want the country to move forward. Taxes is very important to our country budget. We see it outside here. My property tax just went up this year too. My property tax went up. So it's very important. But at least what I don't see in my neighborhood, I don't see potholes. When I call 911, the ambulance will show up if I want to, or the police will show up right away.
Exactly.
So when people want that too, we gotta tighten our belt. And this is the time to join Joseph Braga and his government. We tighten our belt, make things work, so that way the jobs will come. Then every zing round will be able to pay taxes. Because when I zing round call for fire truck, the fire truck will show up. And all of these things are funded through taxation. It's not cheap. It's not free. Government can't do everything. But we all need to tighten our belt.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. That's a great point. Hans, let's hear from you. What's on your mind, sir?
Yes. Good evening, Nelson, and pleasant good day to everybody here on the set and those that are listening in Radio Land and TV Land. I want to say hello to you all. What's on my mind is ethics. I hope the new government will bring in a strong ethics code, meaning people have to follow some ethical rules. Nelson, your station is a private entity. I'm going to stress tonight, I'm going to use this medium what's on my mind to state that the nation's broadcasting system, they have lost their ethical values. Because this recent elections, I saw some of the things I saw on social media. It was ridiculous. It was worse than during Taylor era. Seeing the LBS staff, deputy staff, wearing regalia for the ruling party, go and like actually fighting people, deputy director for positions and things. When I was doing broadcasting, even in the 90s, as I said, Taylor had his LCN, Liberia Communication Network, that did things for Charles Taylor. The ELBC and ELTV back then was not fully funded, but they were there still working for the people. They did work for the opposition, they did work for the National Party, and they did things that were essential for the for the nation. But this past election or prior to that, the people that I saw the LBS, they had jumped, damaged, destroyed ethics. I'm saying this because I was in broadcasting once upon a time. I was working for a private entity, like how you are.
Yeah.
See, we under the private entity, we had ethics as well. We follow ethical rules that we follow. Where I am right now, everybody on this set at their job right now, there's ethics, the ethical rules that they have to embark on. But the Liberal broadcasting system, those journalists, they need to undergo the new government. My appeal to you all, you guys need to bring in a strong ethical code, strong code of ethics that the people have to go through and retrain to know that even you, the Unity Party led government, these people should not be loyal to you. They are civil servants. Just like the people that work to the GSA, the people that work to the labor ministry, they are people, they just that they are at an autonomous agency. That does not give you the right to don the gown of the president. I mean, and you see some of these directors and assistant directors on social media fighting people. Like, oh yeah, I'm dancing that. Now someone that taking it the other way around. You have damaged your image. What do you think? You're just gonna keep your position, right? And you're gonna have that job? Even if you qualify for that job, which I don't think they should be taken away from you easily, but you should undergo ethics training. Ethics training is very important, and they have lost that value. And I hope the government will do. I'm speaking directly to the Liberal broadcasting system. If anybody hearing my voice tonight, you don't like it, you know my page. I'm Gula King Joshua on Facebook. Come there and attack me, but you need to go back and do ethics training. Thank you.
And I think that's a very important one, Hans, because um we saw quite recently when the European Union observation sorry, the European Union observation mission in Liberia released their preliminary report. Um, Unfortunately, they highlighted the state broadcaster
Yeah.
for unethical broadcast, that they carry on during the period, giving their own role, or what their role should be in these periods, and comparing it to what they demonstrated. Yes, not me saying, but what the EU observation mission said was that, I mean, they felt below the belt. I mean, they underperformed. They were unethical. But again, you want to look at it from a broader perspective as well. Um, Governments, and I want to be frank about this, not just the CDC government, but even the United Party government from 2011 up to 2017, right? Governments have been bent on this whole thing about um either influencing what the people do there, or using them, or those people themselves, or those people making themselves available to be used by the government that be, or the power that be, to be used as propaganda machines, which is unethical. But again, that's where it is. So I think we have to look at it from all sides, even
Oh
the
yeah.
government. Let's assume the JMB administration comes into power. They should give the ELBC, for example, the state broadcaster, that space where they can be able to operate independently, void of any interference. And the other way around is that they say to the person whom Moesh is giving, Moesh is expected. So you now who carries this name, this title, this portfolio, whatever, state broadcaster, media person, a journalist, you should know that as per your ethical, principles and all of that, there are do's and don'ts, and I think that's another aspect of it. But I think that's a very important point.
Nelson, just
It's a
real,
shame.
real short.
It was
In
a shame
America,
for us that the EU came on that thing. Yeah,
yeah,
Papa, go ahead.
they have what you call the NPR, National Public Radio, in
Yeah,
almost every state in America. I think you have monitored it before, and the
yeah,
NPR is funded by the federal government to some extent. They raise money by donations and through foundations, but they are
yeah,
funded through the federal government, and they are very independent when it comes to stuff like that. Just wanted to put through a light on that.
yeah. Thank you, Sandy. Let's hear what's on your mind, sir, as we get ready to kickstart the late night show.
Well, good evening, and hope all of you are doing well. Those listening to us, good evening to all of you. Look, one thing I've been thinking about today is that now that we are in a transition period, in just few weeks from now, the current administration will be turning on to the new administration. I'm looking forward to seeing a new administration that really will be structured to represent all of Liberia. The struggle we have had over the last 6 years truly has to do with having people in leadership that were directly placed there because of their connection to Mr. Weir or because of their commitment to a political party. The changes that all of us fought for, the changes that the Liberian people fought for, must reflect in this new government that is coming. And I hope that the incoming president and his team will just look across Liberia, not just within their political parties or their alliances, but look outside of the box, find the bright minds in and out of Liberia that are willing to serve their country. Liberians with some level of track records that have put in their all to serve their people. But also, let us not just focus on those with the high experiences. It is also important that the young man must also be mentored in the process. There are a lot of young Liberians, well-educated Liberians that has the energy, the passion, and that are ready to serve their country and their people. And those must also be considered. So I've been reflecting on this because when I look at the CDC government, for the most part, what you see is really partisan based. I think when we get out of the partisan spectrum or the ideas of just putting people in position because they are part of your political party and start to look at, okay, John Brown, for instance, what would John Brown bring to the table? If we should put John Brown in the Ministry of Education, for example, what is John Brown education? What is his background? What are his experiences? How can John Brown contribute to the growth of the education system? And not just because John Brown is being placed there because John Brown either supported the Unity Party or John Brown has been part of the Unity Party. There are several great men and women in the unit, in and out of the Unity Party, the alliances that supported Mr. Ambassador Boakai. But those people should be thoroughly evaluated. Let us start to build Liberia on a professional level and not just on partisan level, family based, family level, family affiliation, or relationship. Let us start to focus on some professional ethics, professional experiences that will help us to effectively move Liberia in the direction that our country deserves to go to.
Okay.
If Mr. Bwaka would do that, bring in the bright minds, pick some of the young people, upcoming, educated, energized, patriotic citizens, he will be credited. I think Mr. Bwaka plan is to set a good example, and I think this is going to be one of the best examples
Thank
that
you.
Ambassador Bwakai will serve and he will be remembered for if you do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Cindy,
Go.
that is slightly part of our talking point. Yeah, but anyway, thank you. We
Let
will
me
further
get it.
elaborate
If
on
Let me
I'm
that.
hit on.
not in Amy brain, I'm in your brain. She said I'm always in your brain, so I'm in your
Yeah,
brain.
she said. Yeah. I see Prince. You want to go, so you can
Yeah, I
just
won't
weigh
go.
in your thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, wasting my talk quick. Well, let me just say good afternoon to my fellow panelists, and then good morning to you, Nelson, from your end, and the rest of the world, the Liberian people that are listening around the world. You see, the thing there is that I will always say again, I want to say thank you to the Liberian people again for voting wisely. But Nelson, if when you heard the EU, the European Union talking about EFBC that they were biased, it was not surprising because number one, Liberia, we need to put system into place. We don't have system in our country. So as long we don't have system in our country, it will take a long way. Now we tell God thank you that we got a new leadership that coming into being January. As what my brother Nelson, brother Sonny said, it's not about because I've voted for Unity Party or I'm a partisan of Unity Party. Let the right thing be done for the right people, for the people. Because if you put system into place, and if somebody went against it, if they're not prosecuted, then that system don't work. We are in Ghana. Before you board a bus, you gotta stay in line. I don't care whether the sun shining to 200 degrees. You stay in line to stay in line to get in a bus, or else you will not go. Until we realize that we need system. If you bring time clock to the people say no. Why you bring time clock for? You want to track us. Some of them infuse things into the time clock. So if you that person is arrested and they're not prosecuted, what happens? They go unpunished. Again, there's no system. So until you build that system for the Liberian people, I know it's not easy, but you got to stay strong to do it. Example: when the person says, "Oh, there's no gas," right now you have no press regulation. Everybody get their own press. You go inside and say gas, $10, $15. You go to the sell fuel, $22. But if you have these things regulated by commerce, trust me, when that perpetrator is caught, obviously you're going to jail or you be prosecuted. You know that the next man will say, no, 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 no. I don't want to be involved into what happened or what went on.
Thank you.
Everything about this country is to put system into place. That's the key thing. System. When you got system, trust me, Nelson, Liberian was learn to do what? Liberian, we are very easy to be here to, for real. We
Thank
are
you.
very easy to act that we will. No, but we are easy to learn. So for me, it's just to bring system into place.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So
I'll
let's
do until I get there.
okay. So let's take Mickey. Mickey, go ahead, sir. What's on your mind?
Good evening, good morning, folks. Really, I would just pass on this one because I don't have anything on my mind.
Okay. Thank you. Three.
Yeah,
Anything for your
good
end?
evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Good evening to our followers here in the United States around the world. What's on my mind? Just to piggyback off of something my man Hans was talking about. I feel like there's something that have to be done about ethics. We are all professional people, and through all of our, field of study and all of that stuff, there are certain things that guide us. and that's the ethics that hold us responsible for how we discharge some of our duties, and it's based upon these ethics that we go by doing things, and just making sure that whatever the ethical rules are, you have to follow them, and under no condition that if you violate any of them because of you trying to appease somebody or something like that, like like media. For example, there's a textbook called Media Ethics and Law. I mean, it tells you everything that you need to have. Obviously, Nelson, and I did that in communication.
Yeah, certainly, it's a course all by itself as well.
Exactly right. So, like like all these things. I mean, and I know Sandy can tell us about his field of study and all his ethical rules and all of that stuff. So, like, they're just certain things that you're not supposed to do. But let me what's actually on my mind is this whole stuff that American came up with that says manage your expectation. I think a lot of people are taking that thing out of context. When someone says manage your expectation, basically, look, winning election is one thing, but what come after winning election is a totally different thing. We don't even know why there's in the coffers of the country right now. And when someone telling you to manage your expectation, it's like we all have goals. The person not telling you to not have any expectation. The person will tell you to manage them. But if you're having this kind of expectation, you need to have realistic expectations. All right? Don't yet think because the man won election, so by he being inaugurated on January, then the man will just go and turn on the switch and then everything will just shine bright. That's not what it is. The reality is the country will put through very, very bad situation for 6 years. And it's not going to take 1 year or 2 years to get the country out of the situation that the country will plays through, right? So putting the manager expectation in that sense, right? Things gonna happen, obviously. System will be put in place to alleviate some of the suffering that our people have been subjected to, but don't just expect it to happen like in 2 months time or in 3 months time. So when someone tells you manage your expectation, the person is essentially telling you that don't say in 3 months time you should have roles. In 3 months time, education should be vibrant, or the educational system should be vibrant and moving, right? On all beating on all cylinders. Or the economy should be up and running. That's it's going to take time. People have to put things in place to affect or change. So those things you're not going to see them in like 2 months, 3 months time, but they're going to happen over time. All right. So manage your expectation, have your expectation, but they just be able to manage them.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So finally, Alfred.
Well, thank you so much, Nelson, for giving me the opportunity to be here. By the way, my birthday is already on in Liberia, and in America, I got like 3 to 4 hours to my birthday. I want to tell God thank you for making me to reach my 39th birthday. It's a milestone, for you to, every time that age is added to you, it comes with a lot of responsibility. So it's a milestone. I want to be grateful to God for that. On the other hand, what's on my mind tonight? I got a couple of things on my mind. But first, let me talk about, my own birthday, and try to get up some reflection. In Liberia, is a holiday, and I was sitting today and I was just reflecting on, the different presidents that came before William V.S. Tubman. And I look at the years that William V.S. Tubman was president for Liberia for, and that's my personal opinion. And I don't think, the way people in Liberia reverend former President William V.S. Tubman as being this, president that kind of modernized Liberia, and he brought, the open door policy and what have you. But when you look at the cost analysis on all of those policies, you will find out that Liberia did not benefit in anything. You had a lavish president who was just on sea from here and there, enjoying himself while his people were living in poverty. Can you imagine for 27 years, a president ruled a country for he doesn't have a highway leaving from the city of the country to his hometown or his home county? Just imagine that. And you that I know that soon as spirit in Liberia, people love. In fact, the second most celebrated holiday in our country after independence is William V. Studman birthday. It beats my imagination that people are so engulfed into this birthday tomorrow from my side and today in Liberia. When you go to Liberia today, you see how people celebrate that birthday. It beats my imagination. There's nothing we can look back to say, oh yeah, this is a legacy that this president left, that other president that come will emulate. Nothing you can find but pleasure, and that's it. It just beats my imagination. The problem Liberia is faced with today, fundamentally, was derived from William V. Studman. He never laid any structure. 1964 Liberia economy was compared to Japan. Look at Japan today. Look at Japan. And look at Liberia. You know, so for me, if you were to ask my personal opinion, I just want our whole birthday to just be out of the calendar. We should take it out from
There's another debate on for every time this birthday comes. We're celebrating March 15, Joseph Jingi's rival's birthday. There's this debate that look, instead of having all these presidents' birthdays,
have one day,
just one day, celebrate all the presidents' birthday. Where do you stand on that debate?
I agree with that. I agree with that assessment. We should have one.
You think so?
Just have one president.
Even the good and the bad presidents, the dictators, the tyrants.
Let's have one president day. They filed a matter. They said they were president of Liberia. Whether they have good time or not, they will have one day for a president instead of having presidents in those separately. So for me, I just feel that this president didn't do well for our country. He plunged our country. He make our people to be lazy, and it was just depending on hand out. In fact, he is the progenitor. He is the progenitor of the spoil system that Liberia experienced. He is the progenitor. Why you see today happening in the country? Why you see rampant bribery? You see rampant patronage in our governance structure. It was all generated from William V. Studman. He laid that foundation. But if you have, let me just give you this. 1983, when Thomas Sankara took over.
You gotta conclude on that.
When Thomas Sankara took over Burkina Faso, when the French saw Burkina Faso as a place where they're just taking all the resources, it took that young man 10 years. In fact, in the first 4 years, Burkina Faso became self-reliant. I hear people saying that, oh yeah, manage your expectation. This was a young man that led his people and changed the name from Burkina Faso, from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, which means upright man, and told the Burkinabes that we are capable, we are smart people, we are able to live better life here. We don't have to depend on white people to subsidize our government. This man was able to lay a foundation in Burkina Faso that in 5 to 6 years, Burkina Faso was self-reliant. They could produce their own food, they could produce their own clothing, and he did not take part out of the IMF. You understand? So when I listen to people saying, oh, manage your expectation, you bring it down, that leads to complacency. Those leaders are leading our country now. We should not give them any inch to be complacent because we want better for our country. So I do not agree with that idea of manage your expectation and give room to people to come and keep doing the same thing over and over, and we're expecting different results. I don't agree with that assessment. We must hold our leaders to the fire, and we must do it now. And Joseph Numa Parker has a lot to lead that trans generation that we are seeking for. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you. Ture, I see your hand up. You want to make a quick point?
Yeah, look, my hand's up, right? Alfred, look, there's the thing. brother. When people tell you to manage your expectation, look, like when President Barack Obama took over from George Bush, brother, America was coming from a recession. All right, people had to manage their expectation. It's a thing. Okay, you can't say a new government is coming in and know you why you know Alfred. Every institution in that country is broken down. Don't even get me started with the legislature. All right, everything is broken down. So you can't just expect everything to work in a year time. So
Look. We
expectation.
we don't want to jump the gun on
Okay,
those.
sorry. I
things.
think I'll just
Let's
because
go to our first talking point here tonight. I want us to watch this video here. This is Ambassador Barkai. When he spoke, when he addressed the country the other day, the president-elect of the Republic of Liberia. I want us to take a look at this.
The elections are now over, and we must come together as one people to rebuild our country. There are no green Liberians or blue Liberians, Western Liberians or Southeastern Liberians, North Central Liberians or Southern Liberia. There is only one Liberia. And citizens of the older republic in Africa, all of us have won together. What has happened in our democracy over the last 4 days is a win for Liberia, and will be a legacy for us as a people and mark in a posterity forever. We will no longer be known for war, but for peace that has prevailed in our country. We must therefore embrace each other, be magnanimous in victory and gracious in defeat. Politics should not define us. We should define us as a collective resolve to transform our country from good to every.
Okay, so there you have it. Ambassador Barkai, when he addressed the country, he said there is no blue Liberia, there is no CDC Liberia, there's no green Liberia, there's no Unity Party Liberia. Immediately when he won the election, he became the president-elect of all Liberians. And that is going to be reflected in his style of leadership, in governance, and even in the appointment and everything. At the point he spoke of government of inclusion and all of that. Now, at the point, I listened to Cindy, and Cindy tried to jump into this thing from the early stage. He spoke of bringing the bright minds. Now that the Unity Party have won, the bright minds, those people who are seditious, whether you from the which other political party, you from the ANC, you from any of the different political parties, the ones that lost the election, all those people coming together. And if John Brown is an expert at this particular thing, for example, WASH, water and sanitation, hygiene, and XYZ, he has an expertise in that area. Bring that man on board, let him serve his country. Though that man is a sedition, though that man comes from a political party that opposed the victory that maybe the Unity Party, for example, now enjoys, but based on the expertise that that individual has, you should bring the man on board. Guys, where do you stand on this? Expertise, the bright minds versus the politics that plays throughout in our governance space. Now, here's where I'm coming from. Over the past 6 years, there were people who served in the CDC, for example, in the CDC government. Some of those people were not supporters of the CDC. They were maybe hired or they worked in that space based on expertise. It got to a point when the politics started to get heated. Some of those individuals then turned out to be the ones leaking out sensitive documents. And at a point, there were fights or there were battles from within. Now you go back to the Unity Party from maybe 2017, and when Costa, for example, was very tough on the back of the government, when there were documents, information leaking here from here to the other side, some of the people who were within, who had the expertise, but did not support the very government that they served in, became the very ones that started the fight from within. And in some cases, sensitive documents were leaked. So I want us to try to find a balance between the two. The expertise, someone having all of what it takes to make a particular sector work, versus their political views, their descending political views. You know, the fact that they don't support the particular government that's in power. Which of the two? How do we balance the two? Which of the two should the Unity Party government be going for now? You saw at a point when the CDC came, there was a slogan that says what? Our time, right? But even in the midst of our time, there were very few people. We saw Mo Ali at some point, his assignment was changed and blah, blah, blah. The same Grand Crew, the man saying he agreed, he came back, and then despite his expertise, he was sitting. But there were a few who remained within. So, I mean, where do you guys stand on this? Bright minds, expertise versus the politics that comes with it. Maybe we should start with Cindy. Since he brought this whole thing, then we can move to Francis. We'll come back to Mickey, and then we'll take hands.
Well, Nelson, I'm glad you are starting with me. Look, I said let the Unity Party incoming government look across the entire country, and I'm glad to hear that our incoming president is thinking same direction.
Mm-hmm.
To your question, however, here's the thing. There were people that supported their various political parties.
Yeah.
Because they believe in the platform of the leaders of those political parties.
Mm-hmm.
They stay on the issues. They talk about how those issues can benefit Liberians. And they told the Liberian people why the Unity Party was not the best. That's clean politics. We can all do that.
Okay.
For example, I supported Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings because I believe in his platform. So if I should be qualified for a position to serve Liberia, you should not reject me because I presented the platform of Mr. Alexander Cummings in a clean political format. However, where we have issue, Nelson, where I have issue as a person, are with those who left the platform, their agenda, and start to become toxic and became toxic, personal, nasty. I would not recommend such individuals.
Look,
yes, I'm going to give you an example.
No, Sandy, you, because here's the thing, right? If there is no more blue, there's no longer a blue Liberia and a green Liberia.
Yes.
And you came in to say that people should be hired based on their expertise and all of that. Okay, so let's take into consideration, and you came in with a very important point. Peter Paul or John Brown did not support the Unity Party, for example. Peter Paul fought with sweat and blood, as the guys would say, against the victory of the Unity Party.
Yeah.
The Unity Party wins the election. Peter Paul has an expertise that qualifies him to serve as even a minister or deputy minister, right? Or an expertise in a particular sector that would just boom that sector. I mean, let's look at. We should even take into consideration the optics. Now, there's Peter Paul, who has been a very good fighter against the Unity Party. Now, Unity Party wins. Unity Party takes that Peter Paul and puts him in a very strategic position. How do we balance that?
I was going to use this individual, but I believe it's a female, Jenna Zeze, in the comment section. I'm going to use the name you post there, Henry Costa, for example.
Yeah.
Instead of saying Peter Paul, I use Henry Costa, for example. And there are many Henry Costa. Many Henry Costa in the CDC, the CPP. Let's examine their characters. Characters matter. When an individual selling their political platform leaves the message and attack a leader, an attack a political leader, that's that individual character. That's exactly what they're going to bring to service. When a man, instead of selling their ideas, talks about the health of a political leader, that's their character. Do not ignore that. So while you might have the skills and experience and the education and the desire to serve your country, we must also examine your character. We want a clean Liberia. We want a Liberia that is being served by professionals, a Liberian that is being served by people that are respected, not only by Liberians, but by our international partners. Make my brother Henry Costa a minister of information.
Yeah.
And send him to America to sit with his counterparts. And let us do a brief skip level research on my brother. And tell me how his counterpart will react to him. How they will feel. When this guy has videos attacking the character, the health of a statesman. And like I said, there are many of them. So if you were in that position, well, you missed the mark to serve your country.
But isn't it going to be a disservice to those people? So if the line we're pushing at this particular point is reconciliation, no green Liberia, no blue Liberia, this man is qualified. Now, let me use your line of your own line. I mean, I'm gonna come to you shortly, Francis. But let me use your own point. You just this man is qualified. He has the expertise. This man is he's a seasoned communicator, right? All right. So if this process is over, you want a shift. You want a new Liberia. Now we're talking reconciliation.
Look, there are a lot of the communicators that can be replicated, that can be used. He's not the only communicator. If we are to examine or interview 7 communicators, good communicators, and there are several good communicators. My good friend, Kwame Opa Weeks from the CDC. You never heard Kwame Opa Weeks insulting Ome Bwaka. He's a great communicator. He could be used. So if I should interview Kwame Opa Weeks, for instance, and Henry Costa, after reviewing their resumes, another thing an employer do is that you look outside, you research them, you look for their character, and see if their character will represent you. Will Henry Costa character represent Ome Bwaka as the president of the Republic of Liberia?
Thank you, Sandy. Let's hold you there and then move to Francis. Francis, let's hear your take on this. Where do you stand? Bringing the bright minds versus the politics.
I mean, I agree with President-elect Barker that there's no blue, red, green, or yellow Liberia. We're all one Liberia, because everything that affects one part of the country affects the rest. So campaign time is good to come out with diversity of ideas and talk about different platforms, and the Liberian people decide which platform is better for them. But now, talking about the bright minds, yeah, of course, if somebody is a very good administrator working with the CDC or the Liberian People Party or MOVE or whatever the case may be, of course, we should be looking at those people. We don't want yes men in our government. Like what, the Zigbe, stuff that happened in the last 6 years. We don't want that, because what that does, it hurt the people. When you're just looking to please one man and that man is the head of the government or of the country, that's dangerous. And that's why hurt our people. So Parker is a very smart and intelligent man. He is going to look across the aisle, because if he doesn't choose somebody because they are not who is qualified, because they are not part of partisan, he'll be doing himself a disservice. So, but the only thing is, we don't want toxic people. Where our country is coming from right now, it can be compared to coming from the Civil War. Even though people were not killed in the hundreds of thousands, but the country is economically dead.
Yeah.
Infrastructure dead. So he need anybody that is capable.
Anybody.
Anybody that is capable. That is capable of doing the job. The expertise that we talk about, qualified.
Yeah. The person being qualified is one aspect, Francis. But what if that person has a different, that person subscribes to a different political ideology, that person is not a supporter of this government, that person is stuck to their political belief or whatever, but then he or she has the expertise? Should that person still?
The question we should ask ourselves: what political belief are we talking about? Is it problematic or destructive to the Liberian people, or is just the person seeing things from a different point of view? So if the person seeing things from a different point of view, they say there's what people say, there are so many ways to skin a cat, right? So if our goal is to skin a cat or to build road, and the way the person see, if you want to make the person minister of public work or lands of mine or something like that, that person is an expert. That person knows what it takes.
Let me hold you there quickly, Francis. Let me bring in this video. A lot of you follow the campaign activities in the heat of the campaign. You know that Lawrence Yelu of the MDR, I think you follow that as well. Lawrence Yelu, Garrison Yelu, and the rest of those guys, they were with the MDR. When the MDR split or fell apart with the CDC, Senator Prince Johnson decided to support Unity Party. Those guys were the ones that the CDC were able to get hold of, use them so that they could propagate the CDC's message in how do you call it, Nimba County. It turned out that those guys campaigned with everything against Senator Prince Johnson. I mean, you know the heat of the politics. Worst things were said. Unity Party won the election. This is what he did. This is what Lawrence, this is what Yelu did.
Yeah. Joe.
So you see the man on the ground? The man on the ground, the man crying, begging the papier, wiping your tears from the eye, the man crying. So such a man. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know the history about that man and Prince Johnson, but I just think that was just some, I mean, I don't want to speak to that behavior because that's some kind of a challenge or desperation place it's coming from. But what I'm going to speak to about having qualified people in the government, and previously you mentioned something about people leaking documents and stuff like that. Now, okay, my question is, those documents that were leaked, were they false or were they putting light on bad practices of the government. That's what we should look at. Because every government, you need whistleblowers. Because if you have a bunch of I will say the Liberian people will suffer. But if you have people from different parts, and that's why keep the people in check. Because you sitting
Oh, too bad. What happened to your gadget, Francis? Okay, go ahead.
President Barker is the Unity Party Senate bearer, and he's the president elect. If you have somebody from CDC or MPP or whatever party, and they're doing something that is wrong, that person is going to blow the whistle on it. And whistleblowers are very important to keep government honest. And with President Barker being a very honest man, we don't have to worry about that because if you present on the CDC, he's going to keep a close eye. That's why you have management level skills. You have the president, the vice president, you have ministers, deputy ministers. If you are messing up, you get kicked out and you get held accountable. But we can just say, oh, we can be afraid of having people from different backgrounds, different political parties. It's not going to be good for the country. So we need these people, and we need a lot of whistleblowers to keep our government honest.
Okay, so you subscribe to the aspect that everybody should be brought on board once they have.
Not everybody should be brought on board. I mean, if you have, let's say for example, if there's 25 people that's going to run the government, and Unity Party has 20 highly qualified experts, there's nothing wrong with hiring those 20. Especially if you have a man like Joseph Barker that's going to be a man of high integrity. But you can say, oh, because you want to also be a government of inclusion, so just force somebody to take a position because you want to like to talk about the gender thing or equal representation of male and female. No, if you have 20 qualified females, hire those females and hire 5 males. But we need diversity of ideas.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So the guy's name is Melvin Yellow, not Lawrence Yellow. But let's hear from you, Mickey. Mickey, where do you stand on this?
Well, for me, I'm a practical human being. Just because people will come out and say unity, inclusion, we also have to look at it from a practical standpoint. All of us here, we are human beings. The way we live our lives, we should bring truth to that and whatsoever we do. You and I know very well, you as a human being, you wouldn't bring somebody closer to you who have had disagreements with you, like my brother Sandy said, and left the issue and went personal with you. You know, in your day-to-day life, you will not do something like that. Why should you want to pretend only because you want to satisfy certain group of people and come up to them like you are a unifier or you believe in this whole diversity and something? Listen, man, nowhere in the world that thing happens. Every president or every leader he's always cognizant of his legacy. And in being cognizant of your legacy, you want to succeed. That's the only way your legacy will be a legacy. You understand? And in order to succeed, you need people of like mind, people who think according to the way you think. Your vision, they see things the way you see them. And in doing so, you also want to surround yourself with people who, in spite of diversity or inclusion, you always want to surround yourself with people who will be like-minded. And there's nothing wrong. You understand? There's nothing wrong with having you can have diversity in you can have diversity with group of people who are like-minded. Now, for instance, Sandy brought an issue about Costa, right? You know very well if Costa did to you what he did to Joseph Barker, you will eat with Costa with a 10-foot full spoon. You will never bring custard in your fold. That's a recipe to fail. And at the end of the day, you wouldn't want people to look at you and insult you by saying you should have known better. That is one of the greatest insults any logical person can receive. You should have known better. It means you did not use your intellect. You understand? That's suicidal. So this whole thing, what people expect Ambassador Barker to say, he's a leader. He will say that. But at the end of the day, look, Ambassador Barker already knows who he's going to appoint in his government. He knows the kind of people he wants to work with. Everything we say here, we just saying it out of the thin air. We just saying things to satisfy our own emotions and our ego or whatsoever. By the end of the day, Ambassador Boga knows who has like mind as he does. You understand? So the whole issue, I'm not what listen, professionalism is the hallmark. My brothers, Heinz and Alfred, we are brothers in arms, right? Listen, when I served in the U.S. military, that's where professionalism and character comes in. You getting the point? You can disagree with somebody politically, but professionalism. When I served in the military, there were people I disagree with. You understand? My faith does not permit me to support homosexuality, bro. There were guys in the military with me who were gay as gay can be. You feel uncomfortable with them when they're doing some stuff. But guess what? When it came down to getting the job done, mission accomplishment, you no longer see their act, your personal act of being a gay. All you see is this person is in green. That's my brother in arm. We lie in the foxhole. I would take a bullet for him. He would take a bullet for me. That's professionalism. You put aside personal your personal beef or whatsoever you have. But that will be if that person didn't go guata with you. That will be if that person didn't go personal with you, like Sandy said. So it's okay. There are people in other political parties who are professional, right? But just because they are professional and they did something that really hurt. Listen, Nelson, we are human beings. Let us not pretend that we are not human beings. We can all say this thing, oh, I forgive you, I forgive you. But words are more powerful than bullets. When I was growing up, there was a sample right to Vamoma, the MPP, during Chancellor time. He had a B sample right there. Words are more powerful than bullets. That's why when you're angry with somebody and you know you're going to say something, walk away because you can hurt a person physically. The skin will break, the scar will remain. They can forgive you, they can let it go. But what you will say to somebody, they can keep it for the rest of their life. You understand? They can say, I forgive you, but they will keep that thing that every time something reminds them about that thing, they will look at you in a different light. So at the end of the day, let us not pretend that we are superhumans. We are human beings. There is no way Ambassador Burka will look at Henry Costa and bring Henry Costa in his fold. If he does that, all of us will see it as him being fake. So let's just call a spade a spade. It's not possible, bro.
So then let's go back to this statement. There's no blue Liberia. There's no green Liberia.
Nelson,
yeah.
Nelson, the statement have nothing to do with Costa, though, for real.
I mean, certainly. No. I think
they say no green Liberia, no northeast, no southeast. It have nothing to do with the behavior exhibited by Henry Costa. So he was not talking about behaviors, right?
No, someone just brought Costa in, when they were making that point. I didn't even mention Costa though. Someone just
I
so
brought Costa in.
yeah, okay. I think it was Cindy who did that.
And Sandy wasn't wrong to bring Costa in, Anyway, I will for my time.
Oh, okay, you already took 5 minutes of your time, but that's okay. So Mickey, just to come back to you, so you end up then we take hands. How do you reconcile that? I get the aspect where you say we shouldn't pretend to be superhumans. We are all humans. Of course, we will always remember what people did to us, what they said to us, and all of that. And then Yes, when Cindy spoke of the need to bring the bright minds together, Ambassador Barker said, no green Liberia, no blue Liberia, we are all Liberians. Now, how do you reconcile that with this whole idea of a government of inclusion? A government of inclusion, bringing people from all sides, ANC, CDC, whichever party, PLP or whatever, bringing them together to serve their country because of the expertise, because of the different level of disciplines that they come with. How do you reconcile that?
Look, in the world of intellectualism, there is something, or academia, there is something called argument from silence, right? Just because certain things are not said, it doesn't mean, it does not imply.
Okay.
There is no green Liberia, there is no blue Liberia, there is no southeastern Liberia, there is no northern Liberia. It's just Liberia.
Yeah.
We get a point. But that is an argument from silence. That statement simply means you can come from Southeast Liberia, even if you did not support the Unity Party. If you come with professionalism, character, and professionalism, character, right, and qualification, I will hire you. I will work with you. But in the same vein, the government of inclusion, it doesn't mean just because I want to include people in my government, I will include somebody who has no character or who is not professional or who doesn't have the qualification just because I want. So that is an argument from silence. Just because he did not say those words, it doesn't mean he doesn't mean them.
So was he saying one thing and having another thing in mind?
No, not having another thing. Any logical person will understand what the old man said. Look, for example, let me give you a practical illustration, right? You know that that is it a roundabout or what to from the Capitol building there and the other one coming the road through the Capitol building, the executive mansion, and coming from Universal Liberia there. It almost like an intersection right there, right?
Yeah.
There is no police officer there. It's more like an invincible police officer. But guess what happened? You rarely find accident occurring on there. You getting the point? So just because you don't see a police officer, it doesn't mean you will not observe the traffic rule there. Here's the point. It's not that he has something in his heart. Look, you don't expect Ambassador Burkhardt to go and break down every little thing he wants to say. You will have to be rational enough to know that, hey, if I'm hearing Custer, if I'm Akara's grade, I know very well that government inclusion that Pape talking about, it doesn't include me.
Okay.
You think they do not know? They do know that. So that's the point. It's just an argument from silence.
Okay. Thank you. Let's hear from Hans, and then we'll take to Ray. And
all right. So I heard the president-elect. Every president says that. Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, our boy who just left power, Trump. Everybody says that. It's even after the 1980 coup, following the PRC decree up to 1985 when Doe was elected. I will give it to President Doe. From my little memory, I can remember prior to 1990, Doe government had inclusion of every tribe. Up to 1990, then we started seeing the influx of most of the Klansmen. But the Speaker of the House was from Bumiford, from my county, Speaker Hill, Grady Addison, Chairman Duba. I mean, I can't even name some, I can't remember some of the people, but Doe government was government inclusion. Ajibor Bernard, you name it. These were people that work in a government inclusion that was bringing the country together as a nuclear But
Okay.
1990 came, we saw what happened. So what you guys said already, I won't stay too long on this. Those guys know that they are not part of this inclusion. I mean, you don't need rocket science to tell you. But when I spoke about ethics in my opening, that's what I was trying to say. LBS, they do have some professionals there. Very good professional people at LBS. I watch them. I watch LBS. I watch you. When I say you, I watch your network. Then I prepare to come on your show when I have the time. So those people will have to go through ethical training before if I was the president elect to rehire them. Doesn't mean that you're pledging allegiance to me, but your ethical training will prevent you from making the mistake you made rather during the past government. So when you see Nelson Colette or you see all the other Julius J and those other guys out there, you'll be like, oh, I'm an independent individual now. I have refined my thoughts. I am for the people of Liberia, not for Unity Party, though I did stuff for CDC. So every president will say that thing, but also there are good seditionists out there. They are qualified, way qualified to sedition than some of the Unity Party people who think Unity Party owes them jobs. And those seditionists themselves, not because they were party affiliates, but they did not come out there showing CDC regular. They didn't do anything. Take, for example, the security sector. That would have to be overhauled big time, right? Now, the EPS, right? Like you have those security guys. Unlike the last government I just came, they sidelined a lot of alien security, the professional security guys that were in the EPS and brought in their people. That was not inclusion. That was bringing in my buddies and my friends. Professionalism requires respect, ethical guidelines, and you name it, like what Mickey just said. So should these professional EPS guys that are working, guarding the mansion, I took pictures with some of these guys. These guys are professionals, right? Should they be sidelined because Ambassador Borka said, no, that job is to protect every president with your life. That's why when EPS wore the CDC regalia, I was pissed off. I went on live and I spoke about it. And I said that should not be happening, because now you're gonna cripple yourself from being hired with this new government because you show your partisan over there. You can't do that. You never see the Secret Service or any one of us wearing partisan regalia or our uniforms. Never ever. You will get fired. You will get reprimanded or get fired. So that was wrong. But should those guys be fired? No. I guess at that moment they were on certain stuff. I'm not comparing the guy with that guy name who this guy just called. This man is not worth me calling his name. So I'm not gonna use my good breath to call his name. But those EPS guys that wore the regalia during that era, I think they should all go through the ethical process too and retrain and know what it takes to be professional.
So you're saying, Hans, you're saying that if those people can go through the ethical process, then they deserve to serve. Then they can be trusted to serve.
Yes, it's something that they are professionals. They are trained to. I gave the example of the EPS particularly because those guys are trained to put their lives down on the line for the president. And if you ask today, right, those guys wore that thing on some duress. So if they just go through that process of retraining, evaluate them, I say all of them, or some of them, you have to put them back. Those are their jobs.
Thank you. Let's hear you, Ture.
Yeah, Nelson, thank you so very much, brother. Look, Nelson, let me say this. There are certain things in life that transcend, politics, okay? And a behavior by that young man, I'm not going to use his name to dignify him. I'm not really going to do it. I'll follow Heinz on that, right? Look, you can disagree with people, but there is something called professionalism. And if you decide to go that route, then these kind of people, they should not be welcoming government. Look, they should be, but they should just be like that. We have a man in this country called Rush Limbaugh, right? Syndicated radio host. That's what he did. Ridicule people. He called Michelle Obama all kind of naming a player. If that's the route you want to take, be that. You cannot. There's no way you can be. You can have that kind of individual serving in any government. Because what your partners going to do with that kind of individual, right? And besides, when the president-elect talk about there'll be no blue labro, no red labro, no all of that stuff, he's obviously speaking of inclusion, gonna bring everybody. By the end of the day, not just gonna just grab anybody because of.
Is it that everybody does not include everybody?
No, let me tell you now, Nelson. Everybody does not.
Because he's gonna bring everybody, but not everybody.
I mean, would definitely agree with Senor that one. Yeah, I mean, Mickey on that one, right?
No, you gotta be straight on
just
this
because
thing.
but Nelson, to be quite honest with you, of course, that's how politicians speak, bro. Look, when politicians, you see, that's the thing. People need to start taking things out of context and put it in a political context, right? When politicians speak, they are just speaking, all right? Politicians will tell you something today and go do something totally different tomorrow. That's politics. It comes with it. It comes with a territory. It is what it is, all right? But look, let me tell you though, what the old man is saying in short is that I'm going to tap into every Liberian that has the potential of delivering for the Liberian people.
Delivering for the Liberian people.
Okay, now hold on. And this, your ability to deliver for Liberia, not going to depend, what are your sedition or your UPist or you are MLU or from the LPP or whatever your political persuasion might be, right? That's not going to come to play when he's making that decision to call you to come and serve your people. And I think that's how it should be. Because at the end of the day, our ability or the environment of multi-partisan democracy should be encouraged. I think it's very, very important. And Liberia have set that mark, at least in Africa right now, that you can have 20 plus political parties going to election and everything come out smooth. Like no confusion, no nothing. I have a problem with it. But Liberia resident show that, you know what, we can deal with the multiplicities of political parties, and we can still go through it and still come on one a victor, right? But it leave with the winner now to build a government that resemble the Rainbow Coalition, right? That is bringing everybody from every sector, right? But it's going to be based on competence. It's going to be built on ethics. It's going to be built on righteousness. Because Nelson, for everything we know about Liberia, we all know that there are a lot of people that are morally bankrupt. All right? And if you're trying to build a system like JMB, like we now, I personally think he's the man, he's the one that can really put Liberia on that route of prosperity. At least the beginning of prosperity for Liberia, right? Because he come with absolute no negative sort of attachment. There's nothing corrupt about him. He does not look like someone who's wasteful, right? He looked like a real pro man. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm being real. I'm being real serious. Look, on some real look. Let me tell you this. This is the definition of a pro. But you see, there's the thing, Nelson. You cannot call yourself pro when you're wearing Gucci shoe and Gucci hat there around the place. That diffuse the whole, purpose of pro. All right. But there's a pro man who stand on and tell you that the man when they ask him for a Dunkin' Donut coffee and a round donut. Bro, but all these things you have to put this thing into context. How much the Dunkin' Donut round donut? That thing is probably like 50 cents. If you buy two, it's like $1. You know what I mean? So that's the purpose. So,
what other one coming from the comment?
I'm just saying, brother, because you see, there's the thing, though. We talk about wasteful spending. If we know anything about the past government, we know they were very wasteful in spending, right? Taking on bad projects, sensationalized projects that don't make sense. You can't build a park for people in a community that people can't even have 4 benches in their school.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
So going back to the question, Ture. The individuals with the expertise, Liberians who are well educated, who have the capacity to serve their country, versus the politics
right.
that plays out, especially when you have people in the system who do not subscribe to the political ideology, who are not members of that particular political party. Where do you stand on the two?
Well, look, like I said, Nelson, I stand with the country. I stand with what you have. You know what I mean? Look, the reason I'm
people with the expertise. You think people with the expertise should come aboard?
Look, people with the
regardless of which political party they support.
Look, let me tell you, and I've said this, just because some people feel or at least feel like they supported JMB since 2017 up to 2023 and participated deeply in making him president, that should not come with any sense of entitlement that they should have job automatically. You know what I mean? Because if you follow that trend, that is a recipe for disaster. All right? Because Nelson, you cannot put people in position knowing well that they don't have the prerequisite skill set to deliver. Right? You cannot make Jefferson Tamakoji or certain mayor or mayor who have not had any professional job in his life. That is a recipe for disaster. All right? Don't put people in position that you know as a leader, that you know very well that man does not have what it takes to deliver in that area. You're not only setting that man up for failure, but you're setting yourself up for failure. All right?
Thank you.
When we talk about putting people in position, just because I supported you, don't send me to marathon. I'm not an accountant. I don't nothing about numbers. All right? So when you start putting people in position because they supported you, so you get put in a position, that is a recipe for disaster. And besides, Nelson, let me end on this. There are a lot of smart people in Liberia, that don't want to be identified with any political parties. That's because the politics in Liberia is so polarized to a point where some people cannot stand it. So the professionals are there, so we need to tap into these people too. All right.
Okay.
So there are so many areas that we can look at these things from different perspectives. And what I can say is that just because you supported somebody to be somewhere does not come with any sort of preconceived entitlement that the person should put you in position that you know very well you don't have what it takes to deliver on that area. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's take Alfred. Konawa, let's hear you on this.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nelson. Let me begin by saying this. Nelson, I know you are a Christian, so let me give you some biblical history or story that will lay the whole thing to rest. Yeah. David was called, God called David a man after my heart. Right? That is
we know. David, go ahead. We know.
That is see, David, when it was time to build a temple, God said, you will not build my temple. You know why God said that? It was because of character. He said, you, even though you will be made after my heart, but you will not be the one to build my temple. His son Solomon had to be the one to build a temple. That's just one aspect of character when we talk about character. Moses, who led the children of Israel from Egypt into the promised land. God said to him, you have done a good job, but because of your anger, you will not see the promised land. That speaks volume about character. You understand? So when you say, oh, you play a video where you say Joseph Baga said there is no blue state, there is no green, how they call it, green Liberia, blue Liberia, north, south, east, west. Look, The presidency is a symbol of unity and stability. The presidency is a symbol of unity and stability. Anyone who occupies that position, you are not just the president for your supporters. You are president for the whole nation. Okay? So when you hear the president saying there is no blue, no green, he's simply saying that as a people, this position I occupy does not permit me to only serve those that support me, but everybody else. Now, let's talk about the issue of hiring, right? You as an employer, you want your employees to represent you in every facet of your company. If that person is a janitor or the security men are standing to the gate, he must represent you fully. But if you tell me, say, oh, because, we talk about unity, then you bring someone who does not align with your ideology and principles, you setting yourself for failure. And we don't want that. And I quite sure Mr. Blackeye, who has learned over the years, know quite well what to do. So the whole issue about, why we talk about unity and global inclusion, look, Liberia has blessed so long. We have qualified and competent individuals in Liberia that are willing to work with Mr. Blackeye on day one to remove this country from the toilet or the septic tank to bring it back to life. Look, Liberia need to be resuscitated. Liberia need to be resuscitated, my brother. I'm not joking. Where these guys have taken our country, if we are not serious, like last night we're on the show, I was telling you about, look, we should not lower the bar for our leaders. And I said, oh, no, but manage our expectation. For me, I don't buy into that, because if you look back, over 125 years we've been managing our expectation. Over 125 years we have been saying, let's leave it with God. Over 125 years we have been saying, let's leave it, man. We are all family. And see what he has done to our country. I listen to my brother Jalayu here. He's very clear. Look, character matters. If you want to change the people, you must have character to change their behavior. The sports system in Liberia, if we are not strong enough to say enough is enough, look, the next generation that will come, it will not be easy for people to survive. So, in my opinion, I think Mr. Blackeye is a well-experienced man. He knows exactly what he wants to achieve, and he want to make sure to achieve those things by bringing people on board that not just experienced or qualified, but people who have impeccable character, that they can put that character online and say, this is what I stand for, and anybody, if you can take your job tomorrow, I don't care, you can take your job tomorrow. We want people that are in our government to look at Mr. Blackeye and say, look, their decision is wrong for our country, and if you continue like that, I will resign. Those are the people who want people that have character. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot, Alfred. Well, government of inclusion.
Nelson, I got a question for you, right? What do you think, looking at Ambassador Barker, somebody of stellar character, which is diametrically, look, you put Ambassador Barker down, right? You put Musa Ability down. These are two people with characters that they are parallel lines that will never meet. What do you think Ambassador Barker can really sit down and discuss with Musa Ability? Even being a representative.
But that's what happened.
Don't
but why you want to put me between the scissors?
That's just a question. What do you think Ambassador Barker can really sit down and discuss with Musa Ability?
I want to answer it like the next chair.
No, let me help you answer that question. The man I'm going to put between the scissors.
Don't even do it.
The question answer itself. The question answer itself.
I don't have opinions on this show. Let me say that.
Nelson already taking.
You know what I asked Nelson that question? Nelson kept hammering the issue of government of inclusion.
Yeah.
without taking into consider, as I said earlier, it's an argument from silence. Looking at the character of Musa Bility and looking at the character of Ambassador Barker, they are diametrically opposed, two parallel lines that will never meet. They both are in government. What do you really think that Ambassador Barker can sit on a table and discuss with Musa Bility? What do you really think? How do you think Ambassador Barker even see Musa Bility?
Again, based on the situation, based on the interest at a particular time, there are conversations that could go on. Okay, so let me say this. What do you think, Mickey? What do you think?
What do I think?
What do you think?
I will answer that question. Whatsoever question it is, go ahead, bro.
No, what do you think? What do you think?
What I think is that there is nothing genuine that Ambassador Barker can discuss with Musa Bility, because bear in mind, both people go to the table with a preconceived mind, especially Ambassador Barker. Ambassador Barker goes to the table, if there will be a table to sit at with Musa Bility, he already has a preconceived mind of the character of Musa Bility. Nothing that comes out of the mouth of Musa Bility is going to sound genuine in the ears of Ambassador Barker. He's not going to believe anything that Musa Bility says, regardless of politics, of interest, or whatsoever. You look, Musa Bility from top to bottom, from the crown of his head to the soles of his feet, is complete fraud.
Okay, so let me say this, right?
And you could see that
going back a little. Let's rewind the clock a little. Let's rewind the clock. Go all the way beyond to the campaign period. So let's take it all the way beyond small. Before this whole campaign thing. Okay. We saw that Dr. Daniel E. Cassell, the late, who could not see eye to eye with President George Weah on policy issues, on the governance of the state, someone who stood and criticized consistently President George Weah. When he passed, the next thing that happened was that his political party, the PLP, brought over is not a right choice of word, moved over to the CDC. And PLP became a constituent member of the CDC, right? Okay. So let's come to the ANC or the CPP. We know the collaborating political party thing did not work at some point, but they said they still have the CPP. In the midst of the second round, had Mr. Cummings and Chairman Bility pledged their support to the Unity Party, that table would have been there for them to sit, right? Because at that time, it was about the interest. Don't get it wrong. It was about the interest. There are other people. Anyway, let me not go there. Let's not divert. I don't have opinion on the show. So, Prince, let's hear you, sir. I won't go deep in that thing, so let's forget it. But Prince, the expertise, people with expertise, a government of inclusion, bringing people on board that have the expertise versus the politics of the day. Considering that getting people on board equally creates room for people to undermine their government, undermine the system. I mean, in this case, how do you reconcile the two? Especially now that Ambassador Barker was saying when he addressed the nation, preaching the reconciliatory card or preaching the reconciliation, no blue Liberia and no green Liberia and all of that. What do you think?
Well, Nelson, let me say first, thank you for the question, but you already answered the question already. But anyway, let me make my own input. Because all of my fellow panelists here already said 68% of it, but let me just add it, maybe the 30.20% to it. Nelson, you be the president or president elect, and you expect you sitting over there to leave the IG for the police in that position. You be the president over there to leave the head of NSA in that position. Though they are guys that were trained, that have expertise, but in actuality,
No
you
character.
need them there. You can't. Reason is that this individual being trained has a direct mandate from you. That's number one. And a lot of points show it. For example, the RG. A lot of time that he's supposed to play the role as an RG, as a just a citizen of this country that was trained to serve its people. A lot of time he did not do it. When Ambassador Boyka said, no blue, no green, no white color or this, agree. You got to unify the country. That's number one. But it's not because I'm unifying the country. I would take, for example, you expect Ambassador Boyka to take Bernard U and Saint Marita. Wait, I don't care what kind of expertise he has. He can't do that. Because if you do that, you set for your own failure. You can it's just come on. Even the greatest country we're in here, America. In America that we're in here, Republican win as Republican president. The most people you see that against, they only in the house. That is, a Democrat, they in the house. The rest of the ministerial position is not even easy for a Democrat to put the host. I don't care what kind of expertise that you have. It's all over the place. That's it. It's not about we know we can unify the country, but you expect Honorable Boyka to take Alexander Cummings to say, oh, Cummings, go ahead this entity. It's hard. I don't care.
Wow.
Look, that what Mickey said. It's not about sugarcoating it. No, it's not. It's about the reality. You expect President Boyka elect to take Eugene Nangbe and send the transport. My brother, are you for real?
The man I say when you will not bring nobody in the government.
It will not work. It's no ever clean hand or blind hand. No, nothing. There is something that is scary. We got other expertise. We got other people who got professions. They're around here. They're around the world. They are Liberians. We will make the best choices to come to heal the country and lift up the leadership of the same mind that Honorable Boyka has.
Wow. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a whole lot. Now, I think we have to transition now because we will shortly be taking calls. We'll have to go to the lines today and take some calls from our folks out there. Now, following the election,
Nelson, if you were President Boyka, will you hire what's that man who get doctorate PhD in rhetorics? What he need?
Money back.
Will you hire money back?
No, but I'm not.
I would. All right, let me cut you because I know you are.
Why not hire Dr.
You know why I would not hire him, even though he has a qualification?
Dr. Mobile friend saying that
because
the two of them in the same
he
school
doesn't-
together.
For me, he stands for nothing. Let me tell you something.
Mickey,
Listen to this thing, right? You see the Lexa Sekou Kalasco and what he need, that other clown down there calling himself mayor. As
you gotta respect the mayor, man.
as
You don't just
unsophisticated as
My man Nelson was
unsophisticated
begging,
those
man.
people are.
Man, Nelson will beg you, man.
Nelson,
Well, I respect.
guys,
let me put
There
my
wasn't going to go back there, you know, but they don't game beer
Huh?
that you want to talk about yet.
as unsophisticated those folks are, bro. I have respect for them way more than the likes of Cummings and money. But you know why? The reason is I learned something from Reverend Emmanuel Booyer. He said, what makes a man and commands respect is that you stand for something. When you make a bargain, even if it is bad, you stand by it. People respect you. Even if that bargain is bad, if you stand by it, people respect you a lot.
Okay.
When it came time, when the Liberian people look up to these people who call themselves qualified and educated people to make decisions in the interest of the country and the people, those people said they were sitting on the fence. It speaks a lot to their character and how selfish and narcissistic they are. I had no respect for anybody. Look, Emma Burke said, for evil
Thank you.
to prevail is for good men to sit and do nothing. When you had a clear line to decide between good and evil, and you say, I sit on the fence only because you are selfish, you put your interest above the interest of the people. If I were Ambassador Barker, I would never hire or Harry Maniba or Alexander Cummings. They stand for nothing but their selfish interest. Point blank, I don't know how you want to sugarcoat something like that. I respect a Jefferson Kochi for sticking to his guns for over 12 years by standing with the CDC and remaining with the CDC, even though Madam Salif and the United Party came to them to try to persuade them to join. They stood by their guns, even though they were wrong. But you know why? They stuck by their bargain. They have, when it comes to that one, they are men of their words. The likes of Maniba and Cummings, they are
But the Monoba, okay, I can understand with Mr. Cummings, right? Mr. Cummings said he will support opposition when he not win, and then later he came back, he didn't live up to that. But did Monoba give his word to anyone? Did he give his word to anyone? Did he promise anyone that he was going to pledge his support to them?
No, they got something called.
Then how do we beat? Why should we beat on him for that?
You know why we should beat on him?
No. Let's do it one at a time.
Yeah. Okay, Mickey, go ahead.
You know why we beat on him? In a society, there are certain people the rest of the people look up to, especially when you proffer yourself as a leader. Liberia was at a dire situation. It was a critical junction in our country.
Yeah.
You look at one side, you have pure evil on that side. You look at the other side, the very same evil you were trying to remove, the very same evil you said was evil, wasn't good for the country. Just because you were not there when it came time to make a decision between the evil and a good, you put your personal interest above the interest of the very people who look up to you to make a decision. That's where we'll beat on you. You stand for nothing, absolutely. You don't have to make a promise. But just for the fact that you say you are a leader, that's what a leader is. You lead and people follow. Leaders, you can't be a manager in a company when it's crisis. Then you step aside and say, let your subordinate make the decision. You're not a leader. That's why I do not respect them at all.
Thank you. From the very first day you came on this platform, you did not demonstrate that for Mr. Cummings. Now did you do that for Dr. Monumba? So I will expect that nothing would change. But Cindy, you wanted to make a
Nelson need to set the record straight. The man said Mr. Cummings was a dead man walking.
This guy, I don't know. he gave his teachers hard time. Yeah, Cindy. I know Cindy wants to come in defense of Dr. Bonaba because Dr. Bonaba is his very good friend. He said they were in school together.
Putting people like Dr. Clarence Monimba in the same book as
Jefferson
Kochi. My man, hell, take that back. But I'm coming. Give me chance. Give me chance. Okay. Look, I agree with you on the issue of their neutrality. When Mr. Kwame decided to remain neutral, I said I was wrong. When Dr. Clarence didn't promise anybody, but also remaining neutral, because we are all opposition, we should have been on the opposition side. I had a problem with it. For Dr. Clarence Monimba, a smart young Liberian, a passionate young Liberian who want a better Liberia, a guy with a lot of experiences working in government, and you want to tell me that he does not deserve to serve his country? He shouldn't be given a chance to serve because he remained neutral during the second round? I think that's not fair. This is a man with experiences, an educated man who can serve well in other capacity. So because the man there are a lot of people that remain neutral. So should they not have the same opportunity, be given opportunity to serve? That's not fair. You may disagree, you may not respect him. That's your personal opinion.
You made a statement. You
No,
said,
let's get
I just want to ask Sandy a question. Sandy said, Dr. Monimba, a man who loved his country and want the best for his country.
That was
that is a very deep and underlying statement.
Because
I'm coming. You cannot say somebody loves their country and wants the best for their country. That very person said the other side was not the best for the country. He spoke against every ill that remained prevalent.
Okay, we got that.
I'm coming, bro. Let me just land on this one. I'm coming now. Let me land on it. You say this man, this man want the best for his country.
No, we're not allowed to play land. They other play with that land.
Mickey, when it came time to make that decision
for
the best of your country, you chose to remain neutral. How can you tell me you want the best for your country?
Mickey, let's give Cindy the chance to land his thoughts on this because we have to move on. We have to transition.
When it's a clear distinction,
we have to throw in our opinion too. Mickey, hold on. Mickey,
you decide to remain neutral.
Mickey, hold on. That's any land his thoughts.
Neutrality does not take away one's love for a country. When it comes to leadership, I agree with you. A leader must be firm enough to have a stand. But that does not mean when you do not stand in that moment to say, I choose this side, that does not mean you do not love your country. There might be other underlying factors that may have prevented people like Clarence Monimba. You shake your hair or your what? That may have prevented people like Clarence Monimba. But that does not take away the fact that they may want to see a better Liberia. That doesn't also take away that Clarence Monimba had skills, experiences, education to serve his country. So to say put that man on the bus, put in the same category as people like Henry Costa, that's wrong.
Still calling our name?
Yeah, I'll still call it to that.
All right.
There's no difference, bro. There's no difference.
Get 10 seconds. I think Sunny have blended.
Yes, I think Sunny have blended.
I mean, even though the playing track is not clear enough, but it's okay.
We have to move on.
Let me get one point quick. You know, when Mickey just said that what you stand for as a leader matters. It matters the most. The revolution in this country with the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he did not stay back. He said, we'll march from Mississippi to the tower. He said, I might not get there with you guys. I might not. He stood for the principle. The amount of people that died, he was a leader who was not a leader. He could have left and he said, you know what? I was taking a job. Now, let me ask you the question, Sandy. In case Bwaka won't win, lost election, what's going to be Dr. Moruba's position?
That you and James Walker asking that question. I mean, that mean lost. Yeah. Then he
I
lost.
resolved. I resolved.
Look, but on a serious note, I mean, then he lost.
Nelson, let me have a 5 second on this, right? Look, Mickey, I totally agree with you, bro. Look, let me tell you, under no circumstances a political leader can leave the decision of supporting another political party in a second runoff with its people. Like that is absolutely wrong. Then who leading them? You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And Mr.
Guys,
Kobe
thank
is
you.
always going
Thank
with
you.
this thing that says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
I want us to end. I want us to end on this note. I want us to end on this note, and it's very important because, like the audit issue we spoke of, I think it was on Friday or Saturday, and then since we spoke of that issue, it has taken. In fact, it has blown out like wildfire, and it's all over the place. The next day it was on all of the talk shows, and Liberians are expressing their views on it. But again, like the audit issue, this thing that has to do with expectation is another thing that's coming out again like a wildfire. And I think someone tried to throw a little bit of light on it during the first round or during the what's on your mind. We saw something similar in 2018 when the CDC managed to have won the election in 2018. The next thing was Mayor Jefferson Koji had a press conference where he said to the Liberian people that they should manage their expectations. Well, that statement did not go well with some Liberians, while others embraced the statement. And it turned out that we saw what we saw. But as it stands, after 6 years, the Unity Party has been re-elected, and then the discussion has come back on the table. Manage your expectation. So Liberians are divided on this particular issue. Like the audit situation, I tell you, Liberians are divided on this particular subject or on this particular discussion. Some are saying, why should we manage our expectation? Look, we should not be talking about managing our expectation because this expectation is what got us to have made the decisions we made. Well, others are saying, no, you should manage your expectation because the task ahead, it's a tedious one. It's a difficult one. We have lots of damages to repair, and it's not going to happen in a day. So, guys, I want us to talk about this a bit. Maybe we can do our final rounds on this, then we'll go to the lines. Is there any genuine reason why Liberians should manage their expectation?
Can I go first on that?
You just got through talking. Francis has been quiet for some time. Francis has been a spectator on this show. Do you subscribe to this manage your expectation thing? Are you one of those who do not subscribe to this whole idea of managing expectation, and why? Is there any reason why Liberians should manage their expectation at this time? Or is there any reason why Liberians should not manage their expectation at this time? Let's start from you, Francis. Let's hear you on this.
Yeah, I will say yes, we should manage our expectation, but doesn't mean we should take our eye off the ball, because we should face the fact. The fact here is this: President Braga may take come into office with not a penny in the covers.
Okay.
The debt has blown out of proportion. It's one thing to find a government coming, incoming government coming, and there's the framework has already been laid. But to come and start from square one, and we are asking for audit, which of course it is very important. So more people say, okay, this audit is not going to put food on my table. This audit is not going to pay my children's school fees. But you got to look at what's important. That's how you set things up. The audit has to happen for us to know what the outgoing government did or didn't do, so that we can know where to go. So our expectation shouldn't be, oh, Brackets will come to office and everything is just going to be ice cream and cake. No.
So you agree with the manager expectation thing?
I cautiously manage the expectation. Don't just say, okay, we manage our expectation, we don't expect nothing. No. We know the government has to do something. Things are falling apart. But we can't say he coming in, so the road will be paved throughout the entire country. No. We should say, okay, our brothers and sisters in the Southeast, when it rains, they shouldn't have to drive through Ivory Coast before getting back in Liberia. They should still be able to drive from Sano to Maryland to Grand Bassa to Bond County. We should still, the country should be connected. It doesn't have to be paved, because even before the Civil War, the entire country did not have paved roads. But those dusty roads were still pliable during the rain season.
Okay.
My expectation doesn't mean sit down and the children we should have 100 students in a class. No, there are things that you can do to make sure you have at least quality education going for public schools. You know, there are schools over there, people paying $7,000 a year, $10,000 a year. Not many people can afford, I mean, a vast majority of the population cannot afford to go to those schools. So let's make sure the public education is competitive. Let's make sure the health sector is revamped. You know, those kinds of things. The citizens shouldn't go to the hospital and be asked to go and purchase medication from the drugstore and come back. They shouldn't be asked to pay for fuel for surgery and things like that. So those things, these things should be expected. These are not expected to be managed. Education, healthcare, security, these are not things that should citizen expectation should be managed. It should be mandatory. It should be required. It's a must that these things take place. But when it comes to, I mean, other things like we talk about roads and stuff, fix the road, but it doesn't have to be paved with quota and stuff. But there are certain things that are non-negotiable. So yes, we should manage our expectation, but also holding the government accountable to certain things that the people need. We can forego our wants, but our need should be met.
Okay. So when it comes to managing expectation, our needs, no, we're not managing.
Yes, our needs supersede
our wants.
But these are things that you can't go without. Your needs are things you can't go without.
So it means you are like 50-50 on this whole managing expectation thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
50% agree, 50% you disagree.
Yeah, because it's about what you're expecting the government to do. You can come and say, oh, you said you were coming to fix everything, so if the road should be paved throughout the entire 15 counties. Oh, we should have gas prices should go down to $3 a gallon, or a bag of rice should go down to $2 or $5 a bag. You know, those type of things. Because before these things happen, certain things will be put into place. Because it didn't just jump from where it was during any time to where it is now out of a vacuum. There are things that were put into place that caused the price of gasoline and rice to skyrocket. So there are certain things we need to look at. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And then let's take Mickey on this.
Look, I'm from the school of thought, what is good for the geese is good for the gander. Listen, I don't buy that whole damn manager expectation thing. Here is why. You met this woman. You've been crying beyond this woman who got 10 children for the past 5 years. All her 10 children, none of them in school. They were in Johnny Tier boy trouser. You told the woman, give me the chance. I will get all your children a brand new trouser. All of them will go to school. For the past 6 years, you've been running behind a woman, telling the woman the particular thing. The woman say, they think it's difficult when you come in my left to take all my children's responsibility, and not you say, don't worry about it. I will do it.
The woman finally gave you the opportunity. Then you can't tell the woman, you know what, the way I was looking at it from outside, not how you looking inside here. So you know what, I beg you, manage your expectation. Since I say I'm going to do it for 10, you know what? I think I will just do 2 years. But in the meantime, just be hoping. Look, man, it's Ambassador Burka Cross to carry. I don't give a damn about that thing. He told the people he was going to solve their problem, they should vote for him. I'm not going to tell anybody to manage your expectation because one, if you tell the people to manage their expectation, where do you draw the line? First of all, it's going to cause Ambassador Burka to be relaxed. You understand? Let the people keep their expectations were high when Ambassador Burka went to them to solicit and to appeal to them to vote him into office. That same expectation should continue going until he delivers. If he doesn't deliver, we'll hold his feet to the fire. We said the same thing with George Weah in the CDC. We told them plain blank. You cry for that thing here, you cry to be the woman boyfriend or the woman husband for the last 12 years. The woman had all the problem here. When the woman finally agreed to you, you come and then you saying, oh, I was not the one who made your son not to go to school. Your son was not going to school before I met you, that now you want me to come send your son to school. No, I don't buy that thing. So that managed expectation, I don't believe in it. It's Ambassador Burka's cross to carry. For one, I'm an educated person. All of us here, we are educated. We understand that. But the person in the bush, the person who never went to school, at the end of the day, I'm not in their shoes to tell them, oh, manage your expectation, because Ambassador Burka never told them, vote for me. But when you voted for me, you should understand that this thing, it will be, if he told them that one, it's different. But once he went to them and told them, say, Joshua is not doing good, I will do good, I will fix it. You don't manage your expectation for Jack. You keep on your expectation until he deliver the goods. He saw the problem. He said he was going to fix it. Let him fix them.
Thank you. Thank you, Mickey. Let's take to Ray.
There's just 10 seconds to just say something.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Mickey, we should be realistic here with the Liberian people. I know we all sit here on the platform. We told the Liberian people, broadcast will come and make their life easier. But when you give the scenario about a woman with 10 children and you coming in and you say the children are not going to school, okay, when I came into your life, do your children eat 3 square meals a day and go to school at the same time? If the answer is no, then yes, I was going to make sure your children are able to eat, and then we'll figure out how they can go to school. This is a country. This is not a joke. We're talking about millions of people. You can't say everybody will come and be living the lifestyle of America or maybe Nigeria or Ghana. No. If the children were not eating 3 square meals and not going to school, I will make sure they can eat nutritional food. Then, as time goes by, we'll make sure to go to school.
You're being selected, bro. The woman told you my children are not eating 3 square meals a day. The woman told you my children are not going to school. The woman told you my children don't have clothes to wear. So don't be selective. Everything, it encompasses everything. The woman told you, Ambassador Burka said the country was bleeding. He listed all of these things. He enumerated all of them. So at the end of the day, nobody should manage the expectation. He will have to deliver.
Well, and when you don't run beyond woman with 10
so
children.
let's hear from Toure. Toure, go ahead, sir. Let's hear from
Princess, you're not going to win that battle because your approach to this thing, at least you and myself, our approach to this thing, they matter men and they don't look at the thing, they owe you and I look at it. So I'm just letting you know that right now. You know what I'm saying? But look, and it's funny, they all in the city. Look, Mickey, Alfred, they all came here today. No, we're not limiting our expectation. No, nothing.
My man, I holding my peace. I'm waiting for my time.
That's how the military people roll, brother. My best friend at military, man, that man would think the same exact, but I seen you are telling me today, man, I'm managing nothing. But look, let me tell you this. You see, when we come on here, Mickey, like, we should consider ourselves as an opinion leader. We are opinion leader in our own rights, right? People listening to us, Mickey, I totally agree with you. When you tell people to manage their expectation, where do you draw the line? Are they managing their expectation for 6 months? Are they managing their expectation for a year or so, right? You need to build it. I totally understand with you on that, right? I'm with you on that. But at the same time, Mickey, we can't be oblivious to reality that this country was brought down to its needs under President George Manning. We are in 6 years, brother. You can't fix that. That is not an instant fix. All right, Mickey? It is not, right? So you lower your expectation. We're not telling you to not have expectation. You can have your expectation. Look, there's this guy who said, Laurie Henry. The man said, manage your expectation, you will manage your disappointments. If you manage your expectation, you'll be able to manage your disappointment. Because look, let me tell you, there will be disappointments, right? I know that Papa Kimon, he said, no cow hitch in a mud. We all know we are headed for dry season. Cow obviously should not hit in mud. You know what I mean?
In the first 100 days, right?
Right.
Yeah, in the first 100 days, no cow will hit in the mud.
And I said this.
So January, February, March. Okay, no, January is not there.
I hope friends are listening.
March,
That's the
April.
expectation the Papa raised.
You
That's one of the expectation he raised.
Now, we understand what he's saying. We also know politician will all be politician. But look, let me tell you this though. Let me tell you this. I'm telling you, Mickey, my expectation about JMB is for 3 years.
Okay.
3 years, knowing what I know. Because there's the thing. The policy he's going to implement. Normally, all the policy makers, I know you guys are here. I know Jalu is here. For you to implement and start seeing return in these decisions, it takes time. Because you're dealing with behaviors, you're dealing with so many things. How can people buy into that? It's like a new head coach taking over a new team, right? You're trying to implement your system. It will take time for the players to buy into it and start yielding results, right? And we can apply the same thing in governance. So JMB going to bring a style of governance, how he wants his people. So people have to buy into that. And then the result of people buying into his decisions and his implementation, that trickle-down effects will impact all of the institutions that we're going to see, right? The economic, I mean, the infrastructure, roads, I mean, healthcare, education, all of these things will start to, work itself out. But yeah, people indeed.
But then why are you getting why are you getting another says here? Because
you're not interrupting.
Mickey
will not interrupt.
Mickey
will not interrupt.
The thing is, like I said, I think I couldn't have given you a better analogy than this, right? A new head coach take over a football team or team that have gone, on a losing streak for 18 games, right? A new head coach comes in, Mickey, and you know this, you're a sport guy. A new head coach comes, you have to build system. Number one, you have to build the players that are there, you have to build that confidence, right? You have to build winning attitude, right? You have to sell that to them to buy into that, right? So that so you're actually implementing long-term achievable goals, right? So you have to make them to buy into that first. That in itself can take a lot of process. Then you can't run and say, my people, we know we came here to work for the Liberian people. So corruption is public enemy number one. So we have to cut down. We're not going to be wasteful. We're not going to be a government that's going to put money in projects that are not going to yield results for our people. We're not going to be back there around when children don't have benches in schools, right? What's the essence of being a recreational center where parents want to take their kids on the park to go play? But we take our children on park to go play when we leave for work. But my and Pa can't leave that better ball selling, and Uncle Musa can't leave from the garage, right? To take junior boats, see to go on the park to go do what? They may be looking for food. They almost say what time they have to go to the park to go play. So recreation center at that point does not make sense, right? When people can go to work, come back in the evening, then they can have time to take their children to the park. So GMB have to tell the people, we're not going to do what we call wasteful spending. We're not going to do that. But we're telling you how to manage your expectation because we have to rebuild Liberia. And now when we rebuild Liberia, we have to rebuild Liberia image on a global stage. So our foreign donors and all of that stuff can build confidence in us and try to trust us with some of their taxpayer dollars. So all of these things are going to take time. Mickey, that's what we say.
Jerry in the comment section ask a question. Can you please highlight it? Can you please highlight it? Jerry, he asked Francis that question. Let Francis answer it.
Mickey, let me end this one, right? There are a lot of people, a lot of goals, and a lot of expectations right now. Some people want to get married. Some people want to build a house. some people want to
No,
go on vacation.
those
Okay, you
are
do all of these things at the same time.
personal expectations, you know, and you
No,
know,
no, no.
you know,
I'm just saying, but they see where government will come with expectation that they want to work, they want to revamp the educational system, they certainly want to revamp the healthcare. Infrastructure is another thing. Human development capacity is another thing. So all of these areas are going to do all
Dr. Ishmael Jason, who joins us most times, he asked a very important question in the live field, in the comment section. He said, "What is meeting expectation?"
No, that is meeting expectation. That's not a question.
Okay. That is
Let
meeting
me address
expectation.
Brother Jerry's question real quick.
But I saw it as in the form of a question. But again, no, I will still put it, you know, that way. What is expectation? What is this whole meeting expectation thing we're talking about?
All right, Nelson,
Tell the people that you will do.
Are you asking me that question?
Nelson, let me go with Jerry now. Answer a similar. I'll probably answer your question now.
Yeah,
Brother Jerry, let me just say something to you. We know what's going on in our country. When I sit here and give the example of somebody, the children are hungry and versus going to school. I'm not saying, oh, just feed the children. We want an educated country, but you have to cater to the needs. The needs are the most important thing. Yeah. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, just feed the children for 3 years. No, like Teresa said, step by step. There are things that happen first before you go to the next thing. You have to cater to the most important
one
thing.
stage
Then
after
the other
that,
things
you go
can
to
follow.
another
So
stage.
media expectation is getting what the people need, important, like healthcare, roads, security. Those things, you take care of.
We don't care. Ambassador Boga will do all.
Okay, thanks a lot. Guys, we have to move on. Let's take
Cindy.
Cindy, go ahead. Cindy, take your time. Let's
you never came to me on this
Yeah, you go back to Cindy
Start
again.
crying, crap, baby. Start crying.
Not cry, baby. You went back to Cindy.
Did Cindy share his
with Cindy?
Yeah.
No.
Get your knee off the officer.
You started with Cindy. You went to Mickey.
Nelson, get your knee off the officer neck. He can't.
I'm not experienced on the expectation.
You went to.
I don't want to be a George Floyd.
I have not managed my expectation yet.
No, we actually started on the second talking point with Francis, because I said he was very quiet, seated and stuff like that. Mickey wanted to go, and then I said no, let's start with Francis, and then after Mickey we went to Toure, and now we're at Cindy. So Cindy, go ahead. We're not allowed the military men to confuse us here.
Wow. I'm not managing.
Look,
you see, Cindy, I continue on your talk, but now I have to manage my expectation before you put me in the bag.
To be quite honest, let me say this, right? When Nelson went to Francis, they jump over me and went to Mickey. I was like, I would rather have to manage my I have to manage my outbursts.
Let's hear you come and tell whole country, manage your expectation, like new slogan.
But go ahead, Cindy, let's hear you.
Look, Toure, man, you killed this topic. You were spot on. Mickey, I don't know how you understand this managed expectation thing.
Why are you not always agreeing? Why is it that you don't always agree?
So you're there myself without the situation. The man want this thing to be done overnight.
No.
Let me talk my own.
No, but let me correct a point. I don't want him to misconstrue me. I'm not saying you never got the point.
But let's send it later.
Let me correct any point. I never said Ambassador Boyka.
Don't hijack the plane. Don't hijack the plane. You will come in.
You will come in. Just wait. You have your time.
Patience on all conditions. It's okay. Look, let's think about the issues in the country at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Why we voted CDC out? We voted CDC out because of corruption, because of poverty, high drugs, crime. I mean, all of the negative things we can think about. Our government, instead of the foundations that were laid, instead of the CDC building on it, they pretty much were going backward. And you think to get us back on track will be done in 6 months? No. That's why they're telling you to manage your expectation. What is our debt ratio right now? Both domestic and international, right? What is our debt ratio? We have to pay those people back. What would it take for us to bring investors back in the country to start to fill our cover again? It will take time. When people at American were in the finance ministry, we're talking about what I think was 85 US dollar to a dollar. A dollar US to 85 LD, and now we are talking about almost 200 LD to a dollar LD. What will it take to bring that back down? It takes time. So let me say this. In the first place, right now, why would this CDC government leave for the United Party to start off with? That's one thing we should start to push. And hopefully this guy will not steal everything there. And if they do that, it will even be harder for the UP government. I think a lot of things are going to happen quickly. A lot of professionals will get in there and try to fix these things. They will start working very hard. But because the country has been damaged so bad, a lot of things has been destroyed, it will take time. I agree with you. We'll start to see light maybe in the second to the third year. Gradually, things will start to improve, but to start to feel it that yes, things have changed will take time. Things will start to improve. But you won't see that change overnight. Not because the people coming will not work, but even to start working, you got to restructure. It's like you are starting a whole new system. You have to restructure everything. The city of Morovia, that place there, the finance ministry, the healthcare, the education ministry, your road network, who have the contract, like the Rubberfield highway. That whole thing is a mess. Do you expect that that road to be phased in 6 months?
Thank you.
Is that an expectation we should get to the Liberian people? So the reality is, a lot of things will change. The professionals that are coming in will start to work. But do not expect an overnight change. It will take time, Liberian people. Not because those that are coming in are not qualified and not willing to do it. They will fight hard for you. But the system that they have met is damaged, and it will take them time to fix that.
Can I correct an impression with Sandy now? Maybe Sandy was on the show, but he wasn't listening to me.
You have 20 seconds to do that.
I'm coming here. Okay. Sandy, I said if everybody were listening to me, I said all of us here, we are educated people. We understand the issue of managing expectation. But the woman who never went to school in a village does not understand that. So where do you draw the line? You understand? You do not expect me, an educated man, will sit and say Ambassador Burger will perform miracle overnight. That's not what I said. I understand that. Even if he doesn't pave the road for a whole year, I understand that. I know from whence he's coming. But I said the woman who never went to school in the interior, she doesn't understand managing expectation, because when Ambassador Burger went to her to ask her to vote for him, he told her he was going to do everything. So if we go and tell the people to manage the expectation, where do you draw the line in managing this expectation? That's what I said.
Thank you. That's a great one. Thank you. Let's hear from Prince, and then we'll take Alfred, and then Hans, and then we go to the lines to take some calls.
They got give me to know.
Everyone, of us on
You're
this,
all the way behind at the end
panel,
of the queue.
we are making a good point. First thing first, a turnover note. We don't know why it looked at yet. That's number one. A turnover note that Ellen said she left, and Joria said no. She said, okay, I want anybody can bet me on that, and I want just went in the breeze. So managing our expectation, agree. But in order to do that, you got to put your technocrats on the ground to start working, which of course I know on Babwaka will come up. And the next thing for me is that, when you see a good leader enter an office, you observe from the global world to see your connect that you have. And believe you me, that groundwork is already working, it's already going on right now. I know that Liberians will come back in full because just how we are turning over to be looking when 205, when Ellen took office, that's how the entire economy was down because we started out working. It was down to the dream. People were making $10, $20. You can't even see it until it started to go up gradually. The team that she formulated came, they started working, putting mechanisms into place, and things started to move faster. Then, with your international connectivity, when you have good leader who can go out there and lobby for its people, that's what we should be looking at right now. And I know Mbabaka is already started. He already playing that game already. He started that game because they did it for 12 years. These first 6 years, we can work on it. But when we get our role, within the first 100 days, it's not that we're going to put quota on it at the same time, but at least fix that role, greater A, so that at least food from the farm can come to the city.
Thank you.
Look at what I was watching today. What was that? Day before yesterday? The rice. They got a producing of rice. You're Liberian. And in Liberia, they rather that they brought the spoon. It's a Liberian, right? That's it?
Yeah.
That alone. So it's just for the government to meet that young man, sit with him, discuss with him how you can make what? Massive production.
Thank you.
So it's about the team that will work fast while you send your international contact outside there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Alfred, you want to go and then we take hands?
Thank you. I'm not going to talk about my military experience here tonight because y'all now win out that battle and try to go into it. But let me say this to you. Honestly, when I move in this country, having served as a military person and having served as administrator, when I moved in this country, my first job I had was working in a manufacturing factory. All right, and when I was employed, my expectation was given to me. I was told I would have to stay for 8 to 9 hours. I was told I would have to lift 25-pound boxes. I was told that I would have 30 minutes of rest. I will have 30 minutes of rest. Those are expectations I will have to meet if I wanted to keep that job. So you sit there, you say manage expectations. I don't understand what you're talking about here. But let me say this to you guys.
Alfred, calm down.
Wait, let me say this to you guys. Yeah, but let me say this to you guys. Look, we are not going to allow any loophole that will be a recipe for complacency. We're not going to allow that to happen. We see Mr. Joseph Imam-Bwagai as the light, as the leader, and we know that he will be committed. Now, Joseph Imam-Bwagai, we are not saying that he's a saint. We are not saying that he's a miracle worker. But what we are seeing is that for far too long, our country has languished in complacency for far too long, our country have language in, a spoil system where people can come and just do anything they want to do. Take for example, in Liberia today, people can have their own time to go to work. When they're supposed to be to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, people come in 8:30, 9 o'clock. Your current president, doesn't even go to work some days. That's not a leader. You understand? So we are saying to you that we are not going to lower the bar for Mr. Bwaka. No, we're not going to do that. The bar going to be up there, and it behoves him now as leader to be able to meet the expectation of the people. We're not going to joke with it. The 21st century Liberia has to change. We have to change our country by all costs. Look at this country. Just the other day, Germany was celebrating 50 years of uninterrupted electricity. You think it's just happy by people saying manage your expectation? It took Germans.
So, Alfred, are you saying that this expectation should be okay? So what's the time frame for this expectation?
I don't have any time frame for it because Joseph Iman Bwaga never told us that we will give him time frame.
No. There are time frame to certain things now. When it came to this road thing, Ambassador Bwaga said in the first 100 days, the roads will be pliable. They will open the roads. They will have access to the roads, right? Time frame on that one. So you expect that one to happen one more time? Okay, so you go to the other.
Generally, I was saying generally. I was thinking that when you asked the question,
how do you expect generally that everything should be done? There's no time frame attached to it.
Okay,
is that what we're saying? I mean,
generally, we have to be realistic here.
Yeah,
we have to be realistic.
Realistic.
I'm an educated person. I understand that Joe Bwaka will not miraculously everything happens.
Yeah. So how long you think the expectation?
Let me borrow the word from my brother Mickey. Where do you draw the line for people who have been strangulated for the last even more than 6 years?
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line for them? Look, right now, one of the major issues in our country is the bread and butter issue. And that can only happen if you have a leader who is ready on day one. How do you think Thomas Sankara was able to lift the people of Burkina Faso out of poverty in 4 years? How do you think he did that? You think when he sat down, he said, manage our expectation? You think when he sat down, he said, okay, send the French people here, they take our gold and our mineral. We'll go to them, they tell them to credit oil and bring money to our country. He didn't do that.
Or military man.
Hold on.
The likes of Jerry Rollins.
Well, I come
another military man.
Well, I come to Jerry Rollins.
This has nothing to do with military man. They just
put some guys in the background because
the first thing Sankara did in Burkina Faso. The first thing Sankara did in Burkina Faso was to make the people to be proud of themselves by changing their name from upper voter to the upright man. So every single Burkinabe understood the fact that Burkina Faso was the only country they had that they cannot be deported for it.
In conclusion,
I will end on Sankara. The first thing Sankara did was to reduce the wasteful spending in government. Go by and watch the historical facts about Sankara. He reduced the wasteful spending. We are telling Joseph Bwaka our first expectation is audit. He must audit. Okay. And those are coming must declare their assets so we know exactly what they are bringing to the table.
You're being clear. Now you've been definite about certain things.
That's our expectation. We want to make sure that
you make it easy for. Yeah, go ahead. Just conclude.
Yes, we want to make sure that those are coming in this Joseph Iman Bwaka government. Number one, they have character. Number two, they coming to serve. Number three, they coming to liberate the Liberian people and put the path where we can be proud of ourselves, where people can be independent.
Thank you, sir. Cindy, I see your hand up. You want to take
Sergeant Alfred. I don't know your title, or I should give it to you. But here's the thing. Look, you brought up the issue of your job when you came to the US.
My man, I'm finishing Donnell. Let me tell you.
They gave you your job duties and responsibility, but you will also inform your audience tonight that there is something here called grace period. the people do not expect you to meet those expectations or duties and responsibility overnight. No, don't shake your head. I'm speaking as an administrator. I hire and fire people. I don't just hire somebody and expect you to give me some sort of productivity in 2 days' time. I give you a grace period. If you don't meet the grace period, then that's when we start to have issues. So there is a grace period. Let's give Ome Bwaka a grace period. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, thank you.
And,
Yes,
and,
I do agree.
that grace period is what Mickey was talking about. Where do you draw the line?
Where do
Right?
you draw the line? Now, the grace period we're talking about, where do you draw the line?
Within that grace period, that's where you start to prioritize.
Okay, guys, we
some
have
of the
to
most
move on.
important that need immediate
Officer
attention.
Hands, Officer
Exactly
Hands,
what I was saying. You don't just jump on everything.
I don't want
Nelson,
Officer
don't allow Sandy to get away with that hiring thing here. We understand what Sandy just said. All of us work here. When you give somebody
you
grace
tell
period,
somebody
even
for the-
within
for
the
the-
grace period,
There's an
expect
expectation
them
that you
to
must meet.
accomplish the task that you hire them to accomplish within that grace period. Grace period doesn't mean you have to slack. There is no
No.
grace period mean you have to slack.
But Sandy is not
But
talking
the thing
about
we're talking
time
about our
either.
sliding team, we're talking about
Grace period also have to do with-
That's not what we're
Grace
saying.
period also have to do with
Okay, guys.
accommodating, right?
Okay, it's fair enough. All of you guys have spoken. Let's have the officer to speak.
The
I don't
man
want
in
a
America, so
situation-
people not just.
I don't want a
They
situation
got something
where-
called
I
probation.
don't
And
want
when you
a
meet the probation, you
situation-
fire. They don't say
I don't
management
want a
expectation.
situation- I don't want a situation where the officer will give somebody a ticket.
Oh, yeah, T,
So,
you're talking here.
yeah.
Excluding,
You gotta respect the officer on the show.
excluding Nelson.
The officer I can run away from the people there in DC.
Get somebody a ticket. And don't do it, my brother. That's
Excluding,
excluding,
yes, excluding Nelson. Oh, yeah, expectation, I'm more expect.
The officer who because school
Everyone
talk, they
expect
beg and pull somebody over. So he hear Nelson talking, say, you know what? You gotta go. I gotta go back on school talk. Get
And
away,
you
man.
see, they'll deal with talk in the chat. You come in talking here on radio. Hey, man, damn it. You see, they can spoil my expectation here. Anyway, Nelson.
Well, Mickey don't understand on here, my man.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, I'm gonna
I
go
forget
back.
we said it in the chat. Please, I forgot.
I'm gonna
secret,
go
that's
back
okay.
and come forward.
Hmm.
So in 1932, this is
Yeah.
America. I'm gonna relate. In 1932, Hoover, a Republican, during the Great Depression, when Delano Roosevelt took over in 1932, the Depression was here. It was all what it were. Germany was booming. America, what's up with Francis? Sorry. Germany was booming, getting ready to, Hitler that time, and America was going to depression. But Delano Roosevelt gave the people of America hope. And within that hope, there were expectations within the hope. It means that everything will be done instantly.
Mm-hmm.
I will relate to what Mickey said. The New Deal came about in 1939 where people of America started getting back on their feet. But it was a gradual process. He said, I pledge myself to America to bring you back on your feet. He just said it in a different way, but that was the expectation he was giving the American people, that be prepared. He also stated in his speech that it was going to be hard. America suffered from 1932 all the way when they got back on their feet. Then boom, 1945, the war came. Fast forward to the 1971 all the way to 1980 in Liberia, President Tolbert, right, gave the people the hope. But in the presence of giving the people hope, he said, you all will have to grow your own rice and we'll stop importing. Boom, what happened? We saw what happened. So sometimes, now I'm gonna go and jump to what Mickey said. Sometimes we have to be very careful with our language, because the lady in the forest, in the interior, in the hinterland, take away that lady in the hinterland. Some of the very sedition in Liberia that planning to cause trouble could be troublemakers for some of those statements made. We saw what happened in 1980. So when you can't produce at that moment, trouble starts to come, it stalls you, then you can't progress. I just brought those in to pick up my plane to where I'm gonna go land. To say that it is good to give hope and expectation. It's also, you have to be very careful, and there's vital of importance with human lives when you play with people. The most dangerous people sometimes are the educated ones. Right in that Morovia, that the trouble in our country. Forget about the people in the interior. The people in the interior, they run that thing, they're making a farm, they're doing, they expect government to subsidize the rest produce and what have you, but they are not the trouble. The trouble is sitting on Capitol Hill, and the troubles are going to be the former government officials. So what we expect from Ambassador Borka is like what Roosevelt did in the New Deal, gave the people hope, pledged himself. Maybe that road he's talking about, you got to go through the audit process to see where the road fund went, where the medical funds went, all those things. That's why we need the audit. Apparently, audit is the taboo for this outgoing government. But we have to audit so we can be able to streamline the projects that this president and his government are laying out. There is no way possible on this earth that anything will be completed unless Mr. Borka or Ambassador Borka, president-elect, they have a complete audit of this government to be able to lay down the streamline. Look, Mickey, this guy, even you, Nelson, before you come on air, you do your inventory of your records, whatever music you'll be playing, your books and what have you. We do the same thing too. Every year, they give us the list. We do even that's audit, so they can be able to know what missing, what not missing. Your belts, your rifle rounds, each one of those rounds, you have to give account for it. Each one of those pistol rounds, you have to give account of your belt, your OC spray, your handcuffs. You have to write it down and turn it in. They will match those things with what they issue you. Anything missing, you got to fill up paper and state why it is missing. So while we leave from America, so many very people go work in this government and want to deduce themselves from the idea of having inventory and audits. So no, we'll not sit here. Every night we come on this show. For the 2 nights that I will give myself to this show, we'll preach the audit and we expect the people to not expect overnight projects to be done, but gradually. Because you can't do the roads in the rainy season to the extent that you want to do in the dry season. Look at the road funds. So I just want to say thank you. The people that are pushing it, sorry, Nelson, let me conclude. The seditions, I see their posts. I know plenty of them. They were sitting over there. They were having high rise, enjoying lives. Now, I see the posts all on social media. Oh, I expect to be delivered. I expect to get rice. I expect to get gasoline to down. I expect the rate to go down. That is not possible. That's not what I say expectation is all about. So we should tame down the hype, give this president the time to run through the audit process, which he's going to do, and I hope he is going to do. Then we go from there and see. Lastly, your man Francis seat, if I was sitting in that chair, you won't be able to get me to talk because that thing look comfortable. that chair, last sleeping chair. So,
oh, no, I'm not on the couch, though.
Oh, I was catching fly. Buga, I can say Buga, on the set. Yeah, I see that chair, but yes.
I want to say thanks to everyone, man. We can to real what why you have your hands?
Nelson, I just want to say this, right? You know, it was so good that Hans actually took us back to the history class. I really appreciate that. So look, Nelson, 2008, when Barack Obama took over this country, America was in a depression. All right. When Obama took over, and Mickey knows exactly what I'm talking about. Like these guys know.
Recession, right? Not depression, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. Or recession, right?
Mickey was a baby that time.
But
I'm older than you. They didn't say I was a baby.
Nah, my man. You know, look, Nelson, I'm telling you, it was so rare in this country, right?
Nelson said he forget he called age on this show.
President Obama told the American people, look, we're gonna get there. It's not gonna happen overnight, right? But the thing was, you see, America had the luxury to put money into the private sector, right? And that's what Obama did. Obama built out all these old automakers, you know what I mean? All these like small businesses and stuff like that. But like, bro, JMB don't have that luxury. Where the money at?
Nelson, please.
You know what I mean? So like, we should not sit there and be like, oh, you know,
thank you.
Nelson,
thank you guys.
Nelson, I beg you. This guy actually, Nelson, I beg you. This guy actually, George, actually in the chat room, George. If you don't know your history, you will not understand the future. So just go by and do your history. Like, all I
No,
gotta
no,
say to
no,
you.
but George is in the comment section. That's
Yeah,
that's
I see
that's a
him.
But
He's
community.
but
They're all
Georgia
by
agree with Mickey. That's a problem.
So, but let's go to the lines now. Let me pin the WhatsApp number. The local line to call is 0555 101075. Some of the folks say I call the number so fast, so maybe I should say 0555 and then okay. So let's see if we can have the WhatsApp line pin up here. Okay, so this is the WhatsApp, and we can take some calls now. So let's take our first call. Ami is on the line, so let's take Ami from here first. Hello.
Hello, gentle guys.
Hey, Jenna
How
lady.
you all doing?
It's good to have you.
What's
Yeah,
up, Amy? What's good?
thank you. So I got 2 points to make, right? We're managing your expectation. Let me start with that first. Guys, I think you all are getting it wrong when they talk about managing your expectation. I don't think what people are saying that Joe Budden is not going to do what he promised to do. But don't expect it to be done overnight. I think that's what it meant. Auditing is going to get done. Roads are going to get built. But the looting and all of that stuff is what we're not going to see anymore. I think those things are happening. So these are the things that we need money, like millions of dollars. Like Mr. Prince said, we don't know what he's going to meet in the contract. So, okay, let's say we want all of these done, and then he gets the turnover note. There's nothing in there to do anything. What do we expect him to do? Turn himself into money? No, you can't do that. That's what is there. Manage your expectations. Doesn't mean, let him get away with stuff and not do anything like the other government did. No, that's not what it means. So let's stop making our people, all these people that are so hype about it, don't manage their expectations. They are all citizens that want to cause problems. And if we that supported JMB stay into that, we are also helping them. And you, Mr. Alfred, I remember you and myself on this same show you talk about JMB. We're telling you to vote for JMB. We don't say he come and do miracle overnight for you to be walking on gold and diamond. It's going to be hard. It's going to take time. We said it. So don't come and be acting like you don't know what you told the people as well. And then the whole thing about inclusion, nothing. Inclusion does not mean that you should know that someone wants to hurt you, someone wants to sabotage your government, because you want to be doing, oh, we are all this, we are all that, so you bring that person closer to you. No, y'all mentioned Heron Costa. Heron Costa is not the only educated man. He's not the only person who runs his mouth. They got all the better people who do the same thing. Why must it be here in Costa?
So why are you being tribalistic? Why are you mentioning the man's tribe? No, I take
Because you can
serious.
say Pele people stupid, so I guess.
Because you said it, man, I get it. But listen, this is why I said that, right?
Okay.
When he said we don't have green Liberia and blue Liberia, yellow Liberia, this is what he was saying, right?
Okay.
We don't he cannot go ahead and say that, because the Southeasterners did not vote for me, so I'm not going to hire anyone from the Southeast. That would be wrong. That's what he's trying to say. Even though they didn't vote for me, but we are all Liberians. Like my brother Cindy, well educated, well spoken. He is Cindy qualified for any job? Why shouldn't he get it? Because it's Southeasterners did not vote for Bonta. That's what he's saying. He's not saying, because somebody trying to hurt me. Nothing. Let me finish, please. And professionalism is not just sitting in class. Professionalism also means the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you do things. And if those people that so-called educated don't have those qualities, I don't think they are qualified. And we have so many other Liberians. It doesn't even have to be the one that are running after me that I should put in my government to be inclusive. No. We have other people from there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. She wants to hijack the show. She wants to hijack the show.
That's what happened when panelists come on the phone line.
That's the rescue missionary right there.
The warrior.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. You're live. You are live, sir. Can you go ahead?
Yes. Nelson.
Yes, sir. You're live.
Am I live?
You are live on the show.
Okay. Yep, I'm going to go ahead. All right. That's something people have been talking about, expectations here. Expectation is very good. I think why the citizens are expecting this new administration. The incoming administration also expect the outgoing administration to leave some money in the coffer. We have to, first of all, make sure as to whether they have enough money in there or everything is empty. I mean, the next administration cannot run the empty government if they don't have money in the coffer. This is where the auditing business, the idea of auditing them becomes very, very important. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
And secondly, I got a second statement to make here. Secondly, people talk about hiring people and just taking people from different party or from different places and putting them into the government. Well, you need qualified people to work, not just these liberal art degrees holders that just come with no experience. You can. I would prefer to even have a 2 years degree person with an experience that have done some supervisory work in the place that United States that most of the people go to school here, or even in Liberia. But what makes us to fail most of the time is we have a lot of people that just come with master's degree, PhD. They have done no work. They have supervised nobody in the United States. They have done no kind of work with some supervisory experience.
Thank you.
So as a result, you take them and get them this big job, this big title. They have no knowledge.
Thank you.
Go there and mess it up.
Thank you.
So experience is better. I mean, it's the best thing than just the degree.
Thank you. Let's go you there and take another person, sir. Let's go you there and take this person, sir. Hello. We have to. Yeah. Let's do it so we take other people. Go ahead quickly.
Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll call for the rest. My name is Comfort.
Oh no, we're not doing the rest tonight. We'll do the rest tomorrow. I pick you, yeah, man. We'll do the rest tomorrow.
Managing the woman expectation.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. For myself.
Yeah, go ahead. Your name and where you come from.
My name is Lorenzo Baba Yima, and I come from Ralphie Highway.
Go ahead quickly. Go ahead.
Thank you. We all call it expectation. Expectation does not come overnight. You should understand this. In expectation, we have everything to be done in expectation, because expectation tells you, you expect something to happen to be done overnight. Get everything prepared in these 90 days that our incoming president is about. So our expectation is not going to be lost in the past regime where our expectation will have.
Thank you.
But on a program stage. So please let us hold our expectation and make sure that our incoming president will do as
let's go in there and take this person.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Hello. Quickly.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Gibson. Jenkins Gibson.
Jenkins, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm calling from College, New Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
My number is 0776.
No, Jenkins, we're not doing the race tonight. It's gonna be tomorrow. About this time, yeah. But thanks a lot for calling. I appreciate that. Let's take Maggie. Maggie is on the line. Let's see if we can take her from here. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Nancy.
Hi, Maggie. Go ahead. You're live.
So I'm listening to the show, but we should enjoy in the CDC playbook. They're all managing your education. It's a playbook from CDC. Everybody know when you start a new job, you're on a probational period. Sometimes 90 days, your job goes 90 days. Sometimes for 6 months. So managing your expectations. When we left Nigeria, we have all these great things that when you come to America, you have all these things, everything gonna be like morning. But no, when we enter, we started working. So once you put your mind to what you do, and I know DMB gonna do it, we're gonna earn it,
Okay.
As he said, in 90 days, 100 days, he's going to pay for not pay for but take the work in a way that people live on different counties coming in. So we should limit. JMB is not a magic one. That when we say one, everything going to go like that.
Thank you.
This is not charity. This is human life. We're dealing with life. So, we have to take time.
Thank you.
All these things are putting to Facebook.
Thanks a
So
lot,
I don't
Maggie.
even think
Let's hold you there, Maggie, and take Jerry on the line. Hello. Oh, no. Okay, we lost that one. We take this person. Hello. Hello. Okay, we'll come back to this line. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. Your name and where you call from?
I'm Jeremiah Harris calling from Grand Cayman County.
Okay, from Grand Cape. Let's hear you.
Yeah, you know, another thing, the expectation people had, you should put it aside. It's a sense that make the book, not the book that make sense. We all know that JMB with idea and things that he put in place for Liberian people. He already quite things he can do. Nobody don't JMB for Liberian people. You can bring the people from America, from Asia, from Europe. Once the man doesn't make sense, he doesn't make sense at all. So thank you for the show, man.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate your contribution. Let's take this person. Hello.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning, sir. Let's hear you.
This was a Prince Kolake.
Kolake.
I phone from District 5 along the Integrity Avenue.
Go ahead.
I loud and quietly listening to the views of all of those panelists. They have a point. The issue about the management of the expectation, I think, is something key on agenda. Because now, like one of your panelists said, all of those sectors, those structures that were set up by the Unity Party-led government at the time, got broken down completely, and there's speed that we citizens gave the government a time for them to deliver. I'm not a Unity partisan, though, supported them in the run-up, but with the level of fraudulence we are seeing currently in the country, I believe that this government will deliver because you can see that anxiousness and the mistake Unity Party made, that which they did not maintain their position 2017. I believe that they will correct those mistakes, and they will do due diligence to their conscience and the market this time around.
Thank you,
so
Prince.
We can give them like 2-3 years, and I believe end of the day they will deliver.
Thank you, Prince. Let's hold you there and take this person. Hello. Jerry, go ahead.
How you doing?
Yeah, go ahead, Jerry. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Guys, thanks for the wonderful job. Good afternoon. Two things.
I mean, not afternoon to our AL, afternoon for a South. You different, different part of the world. But go ahead.
Thank you. I wanted to just make a point on two things quickly.
Yeah.
This issue about expectation. And when we talk about limiting your expectations, there are a lot of things that are involved. We are not trying to discourage the Liberian people concerning what we intend to do. There are a lot of procedures in terms of, getting the government, jump started. Because, we are inheriting a kind of recklessly corrupt government. And there are a lot of things that will not immediately get in gear. Because auditing the government or doing asset recovery, you understand? You can't just jumpstart into audit. First of all, that's one of the importance of the transitional team. Because the transitional team now is taking notes about every asset that government has. So after that, and then an investigative team of asset recovery will be established to be able to go after government assets. After that, all these things will inform an immediate audit. That's what Joe Barker said. On day one, we will begin the process of accountability. People will account. When we talk about these things, then our friends from opposite Lone Star Cell will cry and say we'll go after people, the president. And number two, quickly, 1 minute. Just 30 seconds, please.
Quickly, you got to conclude on that.
I listened to the other guy talking about, we are not You don't just dismiss our professional people who go to school, come back and have their degrees and all of that. The government will have in place, mechanisms to grow people. We are not going to just dismiss people, because they just come. The people go through processes and go to school.
Thank you.
Don't say, you're not just come with your flashy degree and all of that. You don't do that. Our government is not in the.
Thank you, Jerry. That's what we did. And take 2 more calls and we'll wrap up. Hello.
Jerry can self-regulate on the phone line too.
Jerry, even on the phone line, he wants to self-regulate. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir. You're live.
Okay. I'm John Gitawa calling from Stephen Tower.
Gitawa, let's hear you.
Okay, thank you very much, Leslie. You see, the thing about the expectation is good, but the only of this outgoing government, it will track the national connection to the country. Because the only way somebody can believe in you if your system is set right. But if the system is not set right, to prove to the national world, we will end up ending the same government that are just growing.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. We take another person from here. Hello. Hello. Morning, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is Professor Bani Foley, and I call you from Birmingham to be specific, the home of your CEO, Pitikane, Malama Gobla, to be specific.
Go ahead.
Yes, so I have an issue that has to do with this managing expectation. People on the radio, when they say management, you cannot do away with management. Even your life is very late that is manageable, you got to manage it. Even the you give in, you got to manage it. If you not take that how you manage it, you're affecting all of people.
Okay.
I listen to the people bring a scenario, this, that, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it is true. Even people know that Joseph Baga born in children, but they got to work with Joseph Baga to give the children good life.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
Yes. So that's it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So I think we will hold it at that and try to just do our closing in 1 minute each. Oh, okay. Sorry, we have one caller on this line. Let me just squeeze this person in real quick. Hello.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson.
Okay.
My name is Thomas Kumer. I call from Upper Kawe.
Okay, Thomas, go ahead, sir.
Managing expectation.
Mm-hmm.
I just want for the guys to tell us when Uniparty or JB talk about managing expectation. If you realize it was just last 2 weeks. So that means after we heard that people now employing, can you imagine while we're talking about in the transition period, new government coming to power, CDC is hiring new people to make the country very hard for Paga. And all of them sitting in studio there, they left from Liberia and went America. When they were leaving, they told their family, when I go, I will send container for you. Now they went, they said, they pay country, and now how we see the thing higher. So your manager. So the whole thing about managing expectation, it doesn't mean things will not happen.
So well, Kume. So he's trying to say all the people here when they are going to America. I'm begging him, man. Thank you. So you know all the minute. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Man, no closing is over. Show over. I'm done my closing, bro. Done.
That's not gonna interesting.
Look, the oversight wisdom from that brother to just put. Brother, it is true. Look, when I come to America, I really felt that you could pick money off the ground in this place, bro. I really.
You use a white Hollywood. You use a white Hollywood and white magazine and see all the other bidding. You feel like money was in the street, you can go and find it there.
And then I keep Mickey. They are so cool. I say,
But again, I want to say thanks to everyone, man.
You don't want me to get started with your woolly.
Thanks to all of you for being here tonight. I think it was a great show. Yeah. And the interesting thing about these shows is that because I use my WhatsApp most times, I'll be doing my different thing. Some people just call. Yes, Nelson, so that Touré guy, the thing Sandy was saying, it's not okay. The person of really talking. I said, sir, you are not live. We're in live. He said, oh, you really mean that? I said, yeah. So sometimes, yeah, but again,
Look, the guy will continue.
That's my man there.
That's my man, Nelson, please.
Is that guy?
I need that guy number, Nelson, please.
But the guy is in the late night chat room. The late night, not the panel chat room, but the late night.
Yeah, I'm dead, brother. Brother, if you know how they country or not, he's a PAW, professional ass wiper, my man. We did it.
That guy that just talked, that guy that just left, he knew what happened here, so he get things that become pretty
Our expectation.
Yeah,
like this.
If you come here, Nelson, you literally have to reassess yourself before. Don't even talk about expectation.
But again, man, that's the beauty of the conversation. These conversations are very important for the forward march of our country. There are thousands of people across the country following, as you heard from Cape Mount, from Bombing, from Margibi. The folks are calling. Majority of them cannot call in due to the limited number of calls we will have to take. But again, I want to say thanks to all of you. Your points were very important for the discourse here tonight. So we look forward to having another fascinating conversation tomorrow. Francis, I want to say thanks for being here tonight.
We're not closing.
Nah, man, I'm done, bro.
Man, you please sing my happy birthday song for me.
Yeah.
And Nelson, I even forget. I want to
Francis, you want close?
I want to put the cash out. I want you to put the cash out up. So I didn't forget
happy birthday song because our voices are copyright.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, man. Let do birthday song for my man.
Let
I forgot.
Because Touré won't close, so we get close.
My birthday gift on the cash.
That man already close for me. I'll be here though. You guys can close, but for me,
no, Touré.
But we got close quickly.
Hello.
Let me wave my closing right to Nelson. Nelson, I wave my closing right.
So Nelson, let me close real quick.
No, my closing privilege. I wave my closing privilege.
Okay, Mickey.
I stand with
so my eyes are getting heavy now.
So yeah, but one thing I want to point out, we sat on this platform and told the Liberian people to vote for Joseph Boga. He was the right man. But for us to hear our brother, I would say Mickey and Alfred, to say, the people we educate so we can understand management decision, but the people in the villages or the interior can't understand so what we are expecting to do. No, those people are very intelligent. They understand. They know that Rome was not easy to destroy something, but difficult to rebuild. So we also have to sit on the same platform and let the people know we are going to hold President Baraka feet to the fire, but we can't say, he was just trying to get everything done and to expect everything to be done. There's time.
The same people that voted on Musa Bedete as representative, even though he's a thief.
But
those
there's
are the
election.
Intelligent.
There's Mickey. There's election.
Okay, Mickey, you said you wave your closing right. You see why? You see why?
No, but my name was mentioned.
Thank you.
That's part of the electoral process. That's part of the electoral process. So our people in the villages.
Let's sing the happy birthday song.
People in the village, they understand that. So we will explain to them too that Baraka will do certain things.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. I'm saying that like not yellow cake.
Come on, people, I'm gonna sing this song now.
Happy birthday to
you. Yeah, okay, but 9 man. I don't know how I can sing this song.
I first say 29.
Why you?
The man old 39.
Don't make that mistake and send him back and call your age, my brother.
We know the man.
No, but the man said he's 39.
39.
He said he's 39.
I turned 39 today.
My man,
Alfred, not me saying this. Not me saying this. Guys, listen, not me saying this. Someone just sent me a text The president said Alfred cannot be 39. He is 50 years old. Alfred, this is a message. The president said you can't be 39, you are 50.
That's
so Alfred taking the
time.
place of Casey Jerry who I want to show now.
Listen, that's why you're just saying today your birthday and leave it. No, don't tell that thing here you on national TV. Just say today your birthday, leave the age thing here. Because my man, we can know it.
Send this suffering for nothing right now.
Yeah.
Send this suffering for nothing.
We see all of the thing and we see
since the day Sandy said he's 35. Every other person that come on the show, they will always yeah, everybody say the
No, but look at Sandy. Look at Sandy.
You must be calling me Mr. Johnson. Don't call me Hans. And I
Look, gentlemen, I see you, man. I see you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Have a good day. Washing your hands so he dining with elders like us now.
See elders fear in Akuno.
Look at the baby on the show.
Man, honestly, I know Nelson. I really forgot. I planned today. I said, when I come on the show, you will put a cash app on so the people can send me my birthday so I can buy some rep for people in the country. I can't the politics care me, I forget.
I mean, just do 2 overtime, you get arrested.
No. The last time Frank said give $100 for his birthday.
Okay, yeah.
People. How much are you giving to feed the people? It's your birthday.
Yeah, for Francis' birthday, Francis gave $100.
Thank you.
But tomorrow, I will see you.
Easy.
All this playing to what Nelson said the last time. That if your birthday, instead of bring it to you, that he's always bring to them.
Expectation. Easy.
Anyway, you go that librarian thing will follow you.
But man, when we got my birthday in America, right? When I came to America first, you know how we can celebrate our birthday. We throw the party. The people come, they eat and drink, right? I came to America, my friends. I said, "Oh, my American friends at work. Oh, y'all come to the club. I have my party there. I'm in session." So I'm like, "Okay, I come in. I go show up. You gotta pay to get in. Then when you go in the club, you got to buy your own drink." I said, why not just tell me not go to the club?
I see why you so big on the managing expectation.
Just tell me not go to the club. Don't tell me can take my brother to the club.
Experience is the best teacher ever.
Doesn't have to go, man. We have to go. See you.
All right, my begin saying
Better Hill.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, man. He said Mr. Hines.
No, it's people be on the platform.
Hence the Charleston miss, not his, but Mickey the Charleston miss. Like first mills all to take off from the street.
They make you a G out today, man. No, yeah, Afra, the better move from here. I mean, picture go rest, man. Good night, gentlemen. You guys not even dream about the playoff this year.
Yeah,
I like you. He's a little like you. How about them Eagles? How about them Eagles, guys? Oh my man, we're 10-1 right now, bro. 10-1. I don't care how they say the win.
Stop moving the minute.
We found we 10-1. The Patriots stink. They sucks.
You ain't moving. See you, Nelson.
Okay. Well, folks, I want to say thanks to all of you out there for being a part of this edition of the Late Night Show. The Late Night Politics on Spoon. We'll be here again tomorrow with another edition of the program. My name is Nelson Colette. I'd like to say happy birthday to you, Celestina Sakor. You're there at Moulton Conan. You're celebrating your birthday today in Burraville. I want to say happy birthday to you. I wish you all the best as you celebrate today. I'm Nelson Colette. It will come your way again, the Late Night Show. Have a good day and bye-bye for now.